Let's go. If you just let go.
Reverb experiment episode
43?
I think it's 43.
43?
Because we had a little bit of a mishap.
Faux trace?
And we did a bonus episode. So this is officially episode 43.
Faux trace.
Steph's not here. She had to handle some family business. So we got to give her some love, some affection while she's not with us right here. Give her a round of applause.
Give us some love.
And for the women, just because Steph ain't on the pod, I mean, y'all got to turn off the pod. Y'all
You feel me? You feel we got to listen to us. You know what I mean? We got things to say.
We got things to say.
Do y'all want a man?
Oh, don't start.
all I'm saying is sometimes listening helps. Let's be real. Let's be real, right?
Is this how we starting?
We starting right there. We're starting like this. Let's be real. Let me ask you: if you wanna know something about women, are you gonna ask a man? Or you gonna ask women?
I'm gonna ask a woman. I ain't gonna lie.
That's true.
I'm gonna ask women.
That's true. I'm gonna give you some. Okay, we're gonna give you something.
So if you want to talk about if women want to know what men want, what men like, talk to men. Right?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, unless you asking them what they want to eat, then they don't.
Here we go.
No.
They don't know what they want to eat.
You gotta look. You always gotta. Hey, look.
I'm serious. Like they don't never know what they want to eat.
You gotta give them an option of 5.
Listen.
Option of 5?
Option of 5.
Option of 5. Listen.
Okay,
Look,
hold on.
I'm telling you. If you guys, it's the perfect thing for any type
I
of
think
situation.
5 is too many. I would say 3.
Okay, 3, 5, whichever. Yeah. Right? It's got to be an odd number.
They gonna panic. You give them 5. Like you, they like what? Like 5. They gonna be like, no, you pick. And then once you start picking, they gonna go, nah, I don't want that. Nah, I don't want that.
Well,
like now you at 4.
Okay, so hold on. Listen.
Process of elimination.
We're not starting off on a good foot here.
Like,
all right, women. All I'm saying is, Steph's not here. Give her her love.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. This is an all fellas pod, unless you did not realize it yet.
It's about to be one of those pods.
We got, G_ Focus. I'm on the mic. You guys already know that. We got Photo B to my left.
What's popping?
And then we got a sniper in the building.
Uh-oh.
We got a sniper in the building.
Uh-oh.
If you've been in SAC, you probably have some women in common. Tmadness is up in the building, man, helping us out as a special guest today, man. Filling in for Steph.net. We're going to give him a round of applause.
How y'all doing?
Give him that.
I'm going to clap for myself.
if you ain't, admiring yourself, how you expect anybody to admire you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So we got real niggas up in the building tonight.
We
So
bringing the medium ugly niggas back. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure we bringing the medium ugly niggas back, man. You know what I'm saying? and that's the hype I'm on, man.
When the personality really matters.
it's really about being funny. Let's all keep it
Facts. Real. I'm glad I grew up kind of ugly and shit.
Like,
let's keep it real.
Like they be like, oh yeah, like he ain't cute, but he ain't like ugly. Like he got a good like he dressed good, like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Women will find the stupidest shit to like his ears. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with him because his ears. Like, his ears cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and once they figure out what they like about you, it's a wrap. They like you.
Facts.
I still think it boils down to being funny. If you ain't funny,
be funny.
You gotta be funny. You gotta be funny.
You can't be ugly and not funny.
No.
Like
how you ugly and serious? You gotta if you ugly and serious, you have to be good on paper.
That's true.
Yeah, your money gotta be good, long, like
facts.
Long.
You have to be a sure bet.
Before we get into the conversation, men understand that though, right?
Which part?
That we understand our own limitations.
Yeah.
We understand that there's
we know what we need,
and you can get into certain levels by there's some little cheat codes you can get into. If you funny, you might be able to get into the upper echelon.
No, that's fact. That's fact. And you got to know, and also not just be funny, but you got to know like how and when to be funny, right?
Yes.
Because if you can like be hollering at a chick without really hollering at her, especially now with Instagram. Mm-hmm. If you could just be funny in her DMs, mm-hmm. You don't even have to really be like, you don't have to send her the hard eyes. You're gonna send her the fire. You could be sending her funny shit.
Bruh. Facebook. Social media has changed the game.
Facts.
Because you can be 100%. Funny on social media, and that will get you into the door.
Facts.
For sure.
I'm in right now.
Because if I see laughing emojis on all my posts, hey.
Just call my name.
And let's not talk about how stories.
I'm in your DMs. Your DMs.
Hey, and let's not talk about how stories have opened up a whole nother door.
That's what I'm saying.
Because some women won't want to post on your page, but when you post something funny in your stories, then she reply to it, instant access.
LMAO.
Right in the DM already.
Facts.
So,
and here's the thing, though. You don't like Instagram, social media has allowed you to really play the waiting game.
facts.
The patience.
Facts.
You could just, dibble a dabble in the DMs with some funny shit.
Yep.
Right? And now you have to press no issue. And then once you see that opening, that opportunity, be like, we should go to lunch. We're just going to do some fun shit. Right? Talk some shit. Right? Especially if you find somebody who's competitive, right? Be like, hey, man, you ain't good. You ain't got it on bowling.
There's so many angles of that because you can do some shit where you just post some fly shit, like when you go out to like wine tasting or something, or you post like you out on the water or whatever, and then chicks will hit you up like, oh, where's that? That's a nice spot.
No invite?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
And then that's the one. And
Niggas
you
ain't
like,
the
I should take you sometime.
Hey, niggas ain't the only ones that hate you with
This
the
little spot I
no
know,
invite.
man. Come with me.
See?
You feel me? Oh yeah, I should take you there. You should come through.
I think social media has made it to where females that we would have never ran across, we run across. Because there's some women that don't leave the house. They really don't do this. If you didn't work with them or go to church with them or went to school with them, you might not know them. So
That's true.
And there's a lot of women like that. So that's one thing I can say.
Listen, for the people that were alive that did not have social media before, or even at the beginning stage of social media, how many times did you go out to a club and be like, where are y'all at on a regular basis? I have never seen y'all anywhere, meaning the bad women.
Facts.
There's sometimes when you go out to a party, you go out to a show or whatever, and you see all these beautiful women, you like, I don't see y'all. Where y'all be at?
I ain't never had that before.
But like what you just said, social media changed that because now you have access to people, like you said, that you wouldn't normally have access to if they're not in your regular circles, because sometimes some people don't get out, don't be in community, don't be at church, school, work, whatever. So
That's big facts.
that's changes the game.
Like, you just stay in your neighborhood. Like, a lot of people just stay in their neighborhood. So it's like, if you didn't know them in the neighborhood, like, it's like, how you supposed to?
How you supposed to meet them?
How you supposed to meet the homebodies?
That's true. That's true. I don't know how we got there, but that was a good conversation.
That was great.
That
was great.
Let me reel it back in so we can talk about what we're gonna talk about on the pod. Y'all already know we have to go here with this episode, so yes, it's about to be lit. So, but anyway, so we're gonna talk about some new music. We're gonna get into the Lil Durk interview for the what's the name of that podcast?
$1 million worth of game?
$1 million worth of game, excuse me, with Wallo and Gilly. I don't know if they call him Gilly the Kid no more since he's a little older. We're gonna just call him Gilly. And it was some good points in that interview that we wanted to talk about. We wanted to react since it's been hitting the internet like fire. The Are Successful Women Less Attractive clip. We're gonna react to that for the Keepin' It Real segment. So I'm about to get a glass of water before I get on that one. Thank God Steph ain't here.
She was not gonna like it, but she gonna hear this shit today.
Hey, I'm acting up. Don't let me.
No hold bar.
I'm acting up.
And then we're gonna talk about the Chris Brown incident, where obviously hasn't played out in court yet. So I'm gonna just say he was accused of raping and sexual assault. So just for our journalistic integrity,
Allegedly,
we're going to react to the new information that we got, and then I don't say actually, it piggybacks off of the new information that we also got about Deshaun Watson, where and we'll get to that too towards the end of the podcast. So before we do that, I just want to thank everybody that has been listening via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all streaming platforms. Please check out www.reverbexp.com. That is where we have all of our content. You can leave a review. You can leave a voicemail that we will play on the air if you do that. And you can also sign up for our mailing list, which we are going to start updating people on different events that we may have in the future and new podcasts that are going to come out. So we just want to thank y'all, because without y'all, we wouldn't be doing this. And we appreciate every single listen, every single stream, every single share that you guys do, because y'all are the listeners. That's what we're here for. So we appreciate y'all and thank y'all. Now, before we get into the pod, I want to just announce something really quick. I want to do something special for y'all because it was important to me, and I figured I might as well just do it on the podcast. So I have, I was actually gifted from my wife. Shout out to her with my African ancestry. All right.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about that before. I talked about how important it is for you to know your identity, where you come from. And for us as African Americans, a lot of that has been taken away from us. Last names, just your history, your culture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
heritage,
all of that. So for me, it's like this was a good way for me to try to put some of the pieces of the puzzle together and just kind of get an idea where I come from. I know some people are like, oh, why didn't you do your regular ancestry? Because I already know I come from Africa. So I don't need to know that I come from Africa. I need to know where in Africa do I come from. So when I get the results, I will do it live on the podcast. And if I shed a tear, man, y'all gonna have to just roll with me, all right? You know what I mean? To me, this is extremely important to be able to give pieces to my kids, to my family, like, this is where you come from. And then be able to study the culture, be able to maybe even one day, like, go to the place I come from and visit and talk to the people. Like, that's dope. Like, to be able to be in an era where we're able to figure this stuff out is, like, to, like, just think, like, as a kid, to be able to give your children the opportunity for them to be able to know, like, this is where we may come from, like our bloodline comes from. I just think that's dope. So I will keep y'all updated. I think just trying to be as transparent as possible. I'm not encouraging this. I'm not selling it. Just for me, it was important. So that's just what it is.
Rob gonna show up a hella different African decor in the next episode.
Dog.
He gonna be like, yeah. He was like, oh, he gonna see something like, you know what? That makes sense. I like that. We're gonna put it in the house. It's part of my culture. It's part of my culture. Don't ask me. It's part of my culture. I had no idea about it before. It's like, you know what? I align with this. I resonate with this.
Yeah.
See all the flags.
Though, like to find out where you from, like exactly, like to pinpoint where you from,
the tribe and all that. Yeah.
Right. Like. That make me gonna want to learn another language or something, like
facts.
I think it's dope,
and it's a cool thing too because like you know we get to the point where we realize that we can learn so much, but we just so stuck in certain.
We
things.
don't have a language. We just sitting here using this English language. This ain't our language. Like this was forced upon us. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Like I said, I wanna share that moment with y'all because it's so important to me. So. And like I said, if you got any questions, hit me up in the DMs, ask me about the process. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to send it off probably next week. But when I do get the results, I'll tell you exactly how it went. It's pretty easy. You just swab your mouth, put it in, send it off, and then they send you back the results. So, yeah. So before we get into the pod, new music. So we had a lot of new music that dropped. We had Lil Durk dropped his album. We had Doja Cat and Tyga, which was interesting. They had a website where people were sharing their freakiest things that they've done, which was pretty crazy. And then we had Benny the Butcher. He dropped. I know you said that NBA YoungBoy dropped too. Couple songs.
Yeah, a couple songs.
Yeah,
man, he petty.
Yeah,
he petty.
He petty. So I listened to the Benny the Butcher album. I'm a fan. I love Griselda. It just kind of brings me back to old school hip hop, 90s hip hop. So he knew the assignment. It was dope. It was a dope project. The Doja Cat and Tyga song, I'm not really a Tyga fan. But it was a good record. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. The Lil Durk, I'll say this. Just because I'm a little older, you know what I mean? But I think it's good to be able to go back and listen to some of the younger acts. And I was impressed. It was a dope album.
Okay.
It was a dope album. I'm not too much into the drill shit, but the substance on the album, I love the melodies, I love the production. You can tell that he definitely has a team behind him, but I would say the older cats like me, we got to stop shitting on the younger generation. And we got to stop trying to define what's real hip hop and what's not real hip hop, or what's real music, what's not real music. At the end of the day, we complain when people did that to us. So instead of cutting it off and not even listening, just open up an ear and maybe hear what they got coming. because you may be able to relate to some of the stuff they come into, or you may be able to gain some better perspective. And I think we have to just have an open ear. So I don't want to go too far into like trying to review the album because I only listened to maybe like once or twice. I think you gotta have to let it listen a couple times, let it kind of marinate. But from what I heard, it was dope. I was impressed. And I don't want to be one of them dudes that be like, oh, I only listen to music that was from 98 and on and from 98 below. Like, nah, like you gotta there's some good music out there.
There is,
but
98.
hey, there's some people that or from 01. I don't listen to nothing later than 01.
Here's what I realized recently. Part of that is actually normal because I start realizing that I'm not listening to a lot of the new cats because they don't even pop up on my radar. Right? I got stuck into where I'm listening to what I like and what I'm listening to, and I'm there because it works for me.
And there isn't anything wrong with that,
right? So you get connected with the artists that you're listening to on a regular, and you just kind of wait until what they're dropping, and then you're like, okay, cool. Well, I'm listening to something similar to that because, right, especially being so now, you got, I'm listening to Apple Music, so they'll play something that's very similar to it, whether it's whether like same time frame, same artist, same style and everything like that. Yeah. So I'm not going to be listening to Drake, and all of a sudden the next one's going to be NBA YoungBoy, or anybody else who just came out who I don't know of at all. Right. You know what I mean? So you gotta force you almost gotta force yourself to listen to the new. Yeah. Because you kind of get in repetition of what you like.
But what I like is some of the bigger artists are starting to work with some of the younger acts. So it does introduce them into a newer fan base where, like, I know Drake had Durk on a couple of his songs. Even like some of the older acts, like Nas had some of the cats on King Disease 1 and 2, actually, where, he was able to work with some of the younger cats and then again expose them to maybe some of the cats that would not necessarily listen to their music, but at least gives them that exposure because music should connect you. Yeah. It should. And it is a collaborative effort. And I think now you are starting to see people more willing to work with other artists. And at the beginning, it was kind of like that really wasn't encouraged. But I think with these younger guys, they're more willing to do it. You see Drake doing it. You see a lot of other people reaching out and actually working with younger artists. And I think it's dope.
Well, especially because now a lot of the younger crowd is really running the traffic. You know what I mean? The audience is mainly young, especially because you got all these things on TikTok, right? The young kids aren't doing anything to a lot of the older artists. They're going to the new ones. So it's like, okay, we got to tap into that so that way they're like, hey, we're still here. Use us in your TikTok videos too. Facts. Right? So you got to just really,
I think Snoop is doing a good job of that now. Like before, he wasn't working with a lot of people up here like that we know of. So now he's working with a lot of people up here. I just, what you said is true. A lot of the old heads are now working with the young people, younger generation. Some of these young niggas whack though. I ain't gonna lie. Like some of these young niggas, why are you even doing a song with this? You whack. But it could be the label saying, hey, we trying to make them hot. We need a feature from you and things like that. Some of these niggas is trash. And I see why some of these old heads don't listen to music past a certain year.
Yeah. And I can see both sides to it. I just think it's a lot more easier to make music today than it was before. So you are going to have a lot more people to listen to. But I think that's dope too because like even on the R&B side, like people like, oh man, R&B's dead, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of dope R&B artists that people just don't look for. Like the Lucky Days. There's just a bunch of artists that just don't get the recognition that they should or the play that they do because before it was whatever was on the radio. That's how we knew what was hot or not. But now with streaming, you kind of have to look. Like it ain't just gonna be popping up right in front of you unless it's tied to a playlist. Like how you were saying, like if you're listening to a Drake playlist and then it's plays within that playlist, then you get exposed to them. So I don't know. I just think that we should be open. I'm trying to be more open, and maybe that's just me in general because I still listen to. Like I said, I listen to a bunch of 90s R&B and hip hop. I also listen to early 2000s, and then probably if it's not R&B, like 2010 is kind of where I kind of cut off. That's kind of where I cut off. I'm like, all right, because after that, I'm like, there wasn't really nobody I was like really feeling, unless it was an artist that I follow. But then I'm like, you know what? There's probably some dope music there. I just got comfortable listening to what I like.
See?
I said, but you don't know what you like if you're not exposed to it. So I'm like, let me just check and see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I think you bring up a good point. TikTok does do a really good job of exposing you to music that you probably wouldn't be able to like be exposed to because it plays over and over and over again. And I think they just put out something saying that they're going to allow people to upload their music to monetize it. So I'm like, that's going to change the game too, because most people may not listen to a full album, but they'll be on TikTok for hours because the way that the algorithm is set up is that it keeps you there.
Yeah. Because
it's short videos over and over again. And if you hear a song enough, then you're like, oh, man, you know, who is that?
Yeah.
Who is that? Let me go pull them up and look and see who it is. And
TikTok is also ruining the game because you go listen to that song you think is dope and you hear the full song and it'd be trash. It'd be trash. But then that little clip, they did a good job getting that little clip in there, and then you're hearing that little clip, and then that little clip goes perfect. But then you got some songs that goes well, and
it works both ways. But either way, you get the stream. So I'm like, it works for the artist. Yeah. And if it is a hot song, then that helps you blow up even more. So I think it's dope. And I think hopefully, in when they do the monetizing program or structure, hopefully they pay the artist what they're worth.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the music is basically what keeps people on the damn app.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the short video, but without the music, you wouldn't be able to do the dances. You wouldn't be able to do the little challenges or whatever.
Facts.
So without the music, TikTok don't work.
Facts.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm old. I still be putting on Pandora and I put an artist on and I hear a new song like that. Like when I want to hear new music, them playlists, the Spotify, iTunes playlist, things like that, they help me find new artists.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way I find new artists.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing on YouTube. I do like the YouTube music playlist, and like they'll have like a R&B up and coming playlist. I'm like, all right, let me go and see who's hot, or I do like hip hop up and coming playlist. I'm like, all right, let me see who's rocking, just to see what's what.
Yeah,
I think it keeps you young, and plus I got a teenager, so I got to know what's going on. At least be understanding of what's going on, because I remember when I was growing up, and my parents used to listen to music I'm listening to, like turn that off, that's just noise. And I used to feel like, yo, like you ain't even like listen to it. Oh, they just taking our music and sampling it and redoing it. I'm like, yeah, but are you listening to the word? But they don't want to listen. I think that's a way for the parents, as a parent, to connect to your kid. Like, why are you listening to this music? Why do you like it? Who are they? What's the message? And like, listen.
Yeah.
You know what's so messed up is when we do listen to their music and it's out of nowhere, we playing something from their generation. Hey, boy, what you know about that, boy? What you know about? You don't know nothing about that, boy. You better stop, boy. Turn that up, boy. You don't know
nothing about this.
You don't know nothing about that.
It's dope though, because they'll be like, there are some songs that they'll play, like that she plays, that I hear the sample in, and I'm like, oh, I say that comes from such and such. I'm like, did you know where that came from? She's like, no. And then I'll play it. And then she's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I know. And then it's cool. And it's funny because I'll play like our song. Then I'll play where we got the sample from. I'm like, I said it's all dope because everybody, you know, they all recreate different versions of their song or get different ideas from one sample.
Yeah.
So I think again, it's a way to connect people. And we got to look at music like that. Again, there are some trash artists out there. No lie. But there are some dope artists out there too. So there are some artists out there that actually take the art of music and actually put work into their craft, that some of the younger guys, that they do get it. And, you know, I think it's cool to highlight those people. So I think on this podcast, we can probably do a better job of doing that, because we do talk about music, but not as much as probably we want to. So, yeah, but it was dope. Speaking of new music and speaking of Durk, he had a dope interview on $1 Million Worth of Game. I enjoyed it very much. It was dope listening to I think the thing I took away from that is that he just takes care of his people. I'm big on integrity and I'm big on character, and I'm just big on like being honorable, whether that's in the streets or whether that's on your 9 to 5, just being honorable and just sticking to a code. So I'm going to play a clip from Wallo on that podcast where he's giving some game to the younger cats. And I think it's worth having the discussion on this podcast. So give me 1 second. I'm going to get this set up. And then we're going to get that played, and then we're going to react to it. So we at? Where we at? Here we go.
You know what I mean? And on some real shit, we racing each other. But another again, it's the condition of our mind, and I understand. But I'm telling you, it's something waiting for you. And I don't give a fuck what you going through right now, little homies. You bigger than what you going through, nigga. If you on them perks, you fucked up. Shit ain't right for you right now. You the living conditions, nigga. You bigger. That's not you.
Talk to him, cuz.
You're not what the fuck you going through. So just hold on and keep going. Cause I'm telling you, man. I can name 20, 30 niggas and my homies is dead. I'm here though. And I'm gonna say some shit that like this is documented. You know, I got a TED talk. I forgave my brother's killer. And I'm saying it to say this. Nigga that killed my brother. My brother died in my grandma's arms. In that fucking house that we grew up in. Nigga shot my brother. He ran to the house. He died in Nanny arms when she opened the door. So I'm telling you this some real shit, man. If I ain't let that shit go, I won't be right here today. I won't be here for my niece and my nephews. Me and Gil won't be doing this. Y'all won't know me. I won't be able to give y'all this game. But I had to leave. I had to let that shit go. And when I let that shit go, nigga, I started to grow. And I started to glow. And now I'm here today, and it was harder than a motherfucker, man. And I'm talking about this my big brother, nigga. I shared the cell with him. I shared the bed with him when we was fucking kids. This little Steve. But I can tell you one thing. Now I'm out here taking care of his daughter, paying for her to go to school, taking care of my nephew, taking care of my mama and my grandmama.
Talk to him.
Sure.
Because I forgave my brother killer, but you know, I understand. I understand what y'all going through. But I love all you young niggas in here. And I mean that shit. I love you niggas, man. And I hope y'all make it out. I hope y'all make it the fuck out, man.
Man, he like
Straight up, man.
It's so crazy. Yeah, this motherfucker really dropping tears for this shit. Like, shit for real. Like,
I love being around the young niggas because, like, you don't understand. Y'all niggas got so much life. And y'all probably don't understand because y'all young. But this system and the way this structure is so scared of y'all because they saying if these niggas ever turn that light cut on in their head, we in trouble because they the most fearless motherfuckers that ever walked the planet Earth. These young black brothers in the ghetto don't fear nothing. So when you switch that shit and you do an energy transfer, oh, it's over. Y'all nigga ever wake up, it's over, man. Watch.
That's some real shit.
All right, I'm gonna cut the clip right there. You guys can go check out the full interview on their website or on YouTube or podcast, whatever you listen to podcasts on. But I just wanted to just play that clip because obviously we're black men here at this table, and Facts. I don't think we have that conversation enough. We kind of had that conversation with the Gucci and the Jeezy verses, but I think it's good to revisit it. And God, I'm glad he said that. Oh man,
it's real,
and it comes different from a dude that's from the street. Like, I can say that I've known street niggas and I've been around street niggas and I've been around street shit, but for me to call myself a street nigga would be lying. I'm not a street nigga. So I can't speak on from the inside out. I can only speak from the outside in, looking from the outside in. But just the realization that this thing that we call the game, the only niggas is losing is us. And we call it a game. And it's like, but nobody's winning. And there's very few who do win. And those, I mean, that's a dime a dozen. So we talk about this and we encourage it. We incentivize it. We talk about it in our music. And at the end of the day, who's losing? Us. And for him to say that, to just give them that light, thank God that there's an outlet. Thank God there's a way for you to escape the street life as far as doing the music. But just as black men, like, I don't think we get to have a transparent conversation without somebody interrupting or without somebody speaking or telling us what we should or should not do. So I just wanted to open up that conversation here as far as what he was saying and just him having enough courage to forgive his brother's killer. Like, for us, we're told you're supposed to avenge everybody. Like, if somebody died and you got to, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's kind of the street code or the street culture. But how do we feel about that conversation? And again, I don't want to talk like I'm an expert on street shit because I'm not. But I understand it. And I think as men, we've all been in that situation where we could have avenged or paid back somebody for something foul that they did to us, or been in a situation where your integrity's on the line. You know what I mean? So what?
It's perpetual. the street life is perpetual. You know what I mean? Especially if you're active, right? Because it's always because somebody did something, and we're gonna retaliate, and they're gonna retaliate, we're gonna retaliate, and so on and so forth. We've been having people been having issues with somebody they didn't even know about, and why the issue's there. They just inherited the hate, and that's what you have to do. You have to let go of that hate and that anger, because it's not going to help you.
It consumes you.
It's going to consume you, because you're sitting there thinking like no matter how much you hate somebody or you're angry towards something, it's going to be in you. That's going to fester in you. It's going to rot you. You know, that's not the energy that you want to carry on, right? Especially when you have somebody else who's like, man, I don't like him. Because he did this and he that. I had some boys who hated somebody, and I was like cold towards the person that they hated. But I started thinking, I was like, why? They ain't got shit to do with me. I can't carry your hate. That's not my hate that's not my burden to carry.
Right.
Because he didn't do anything to issue to me. You want to tell me I need to be upset at him for some shit he did to you because I'm your boy, but I'm not going to carry around that hate for you. Because it doesn't feel right within me to hate somebody that I have no personal reason to hate.
Right.
I think it's about not letting it consume you.
Yeah.
And that feeling can consume you. Like somebody kills your brother and your brother dies in your grandma's hands. Like mentally, do we know what that does to that woman? What it does to that boy that sees it? Like this boy now grows up hating that dude that does that killed his brother. So now he ends up going, oh, he's from here, so I hate them niggas too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now he gets old enough, he gets a gun, he go kill one of them niggas from over there. And then it's like, okay, so now you're a young dude, you get caught because you did it stupidly. Now you in jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I couldn't really see the clip where I couldn't see the people's faces. But, you know, in Chicago, you know, they live for that shit. Like, they live for that, we gonna go right back the same day. But I think as he was crying about this shit, like, they felt him because they all didn't probably had that one person that died the way that they died. And they were just like, that was my brother, that was my woo. And they start thinking about that, and they was just like, damn, like, but letting it go is hard. It's hard. It's hard. Like it's hard. Like just think about how hard it is to let go of a feeling that has nothing to do with street shit. And you lose somebody, and you trying to. You don't have nobody to be mad at, and so you just sitting here and you like my grandma died or this person died, and it's like it's hard to let that shit go. Like, and so for a person to sit here and say that I let that go because he could have lost himself mentally, and that's the biggest thing. But I mean, it's hard. Like it's hard not to want
and to give some background. So Wallo is Gilly's cousin, and Wallo has been locked up since 11. He's been in juvie and then in the penitentiary, and he's 42 now. So, and I think he got released maybe 5 years before today. So 5 years before now. So he's been locked up for the majority of his life. So he, you know, and speaking on that clip, he was saying that he's seen, you know, boys coming in and out of the penitentiary, seeing how that works. And, again, like that's, and, you know, and he said, that was my brother. I grew up with him. I slept in the same bed as him. He said, so to give, like, it was hard. That is hard. Like, can you think about a family member, you seeing somebody kill your family member and then having to get over that, knowing you may see that person again, knowing that you could easily, you know, eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. But I think when you get older, and this is what I was trying to say on that podcast with Raj, was you have to think about the consequences. Because at this point in my life, I have too much to lose. I have a wife, I have kids, I have a home, I have a responsibility. So I could easily get prideful if I was in that situation. Could easily get prideful and say, I'm getting a nigga back. But if I get that nigga back, and if I get caught, then now I'm removed from the home. And then now I'm causing more trauma because now my kids have to grow up without their dad. Or when they do see their dad, they got to see me behind bars. Right. And I'm not coming back home. my wife has to raise children without a father in the home, or another man got to raise my children. So when I think about things and the consequences that come behind your actions, you got to think down the line, because it may be gratifying in that moment, but then you're causing more trauma by what you did, and you can't get that back. So we're making permanent decisions with temporary feelings. You may be able to get over that. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It may take you years to get over something like that. You may never get over that. But is it worth you causing more problems in your household? And I think the frustrations that people have with black men is not all black men, some black men, is I think we make some of these decisions that hurt our community, and we don't realize that they are hurting our community, and we're absent. And if we were more present and more cognizant on our actions, I think that we would become better leaders. And that's what he said. He said, after I let it go, he said, I grew and I started glowing up. And he's able to influence more people because of that. And just think about that. Just think of I always think just even sports, like when somebody misses a shot or they make a mistake and then the other team goes back and then they hit a big three or something like that. It's a swing play. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's similar. You not avenging your brother felt some kind of way, but the pendulum swung and you were able to help all these other people. You were able to take care of his children, send them off to college, make sure they're good. You're on a podcast where you're talking to all these people that you may have been able to change somebody else's life or their trajectory in their life. You're making money. Your life was exponentially better than what the other side could have been. Other side could have been is you could have avenged. Now you're back in the pen again.
Mm-hmm. I think also, how do I want to say this? 'Cause I got to make sure I say this politically right.
No, just say it. This
all right. So I think the hardest part is when you know the person that passed away, and if something would have happened to you like that, you know that they would have shot the whole block up forward. And I think the hardest part in your mind is how I not go do nothing back for him, and I know he would have went to hell and back for me. I think that's the hardest part mentally.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Just knowing that, you know what I'm saying? And you feel like you let him down. Mm-hmm. Because this happened and it's I would have tried to kill everybody for you. Right. I would have died myself trying to avenge you. And so you feeling damn, I didn't do nothing. Now, but on the up thing, it's hey, if you dedicate yourself to that man's kids, and you make sure his kids are raised good and have a male figure in their life, then you can help avenge them that way as well. But you gotta be there and you gotta dedicate yourself how you would have dedicated yourself spinning that block and looking for them niggas all day long. You gotta dedicate yourself to their kids and keep it solid.
There's different ways of being loyal.
That's a good point.
Ways of being loyal.
And he can appreciate you that way because it's okay, you to spin that block and I kind of didn't want you to do that. You know what I'm saying? But you stayed down with my kids, made sure they had good Christmases, had good birthdays. You showed up and you turned it up for them.
Right.
Facts.
You don't have to do what they would have done. Plus, you don't know what they would have done. You're just assuming what they would have done based off of what you think people are expected to do.
Facts.
Instead of just realizing you know what, that's not how I actually want to react. If you're feeling like people are going to be upset if I don't, but it's how am I going to feel? Who's the person who's going to have to deal with the actual outcome of what happens?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's I'm not what do we say? People can give you all types of criticism and opinions, but they're not the ones who have to deal with the circumstances and the consequences.
Facts.
So you have to make the decisions on your own instead of what are people going to say about me?
Facts. Yeah.
That's not my issue.
And it's kind of hard to have that conversation because if you grew up in a certain neighborhood and that's all you knew.
Yeah.
And you can't leave, you got to deal with the consequences if you don't retaliate. You got to deal with that too. You may be cutting off yourself from the only people you knew all your entire life. But I think we got to start normalizing, if that's your homie, don't ask your homie to throw his life away for you. Ask your homie to live for you. That's the best way to honor your friendship or honor. And we got to realize sometimes the homie ain't the homie. If the homie asking you to do some shit that's gonna get you killed or get you locked up, that may not be the homie. Because at the end of the day, that may benefit him. And I think that's the thing that he was talking about on that pod too. He was saying that some of your bigger homies gave you fucked up advice.
Facts.
But can we blame him though? Because this other dude been walking around like he big and bad and he ready to do this and ready to do that at any given moment. So he goes to him and asks him like, so you ready to go do this now?
Yeah.
So is he really asking him to throw his life away? But it's like, you've been putting out there like, I'm willing to throw my life away.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's kind of like match your energy.
Yeah, like, so, okay, it's time to go throw our life away now. You ready?
Yeah.
Right.
And he like, oh, I just had a baby and I just, what happened to all that other shit you was talking about?
People got to realize you can change your mind.
That's true.
Well, nah. It's blood in, blood out.
If you living that life, like, it's like, that's where we at. And, you know, but it also comes down to, you got to know who to take to a shootout, who to take to a fist fight, and who to take to a knife fight. And so, like, you got to know, like, some people ain't built for that. Like, they don't mess with guns, and you got to be okay with that. Like, I'm going to take you to a fist fight.
Right.
I know you can fight. We gonna go handle this. We gonna do this. Some people you going to be like, hey, you ready to slide? And this is what they do. Mm-hmm. And you just got to know. You got to know that this man he the homie. He don't have nothing to do with all that. But I know if I get locked up, he gonna put money on my books. Mm-hmm. I know that he gonna be there for my family. I know that anything I ask for, he gonna look out for me. Mm-hmm. So you just gotta know who you dealing with, and that goes with people in life in general. Mm-hmm. Know who you dealing with, and put them in the place where they need to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough conversation because it's multi-layered and it's more complex than maybe what we're saying. And I want to be sensitive on this podcast because I just know somebody in those shoes will be like, man, you just don't understand. And I get it. But at the same time, for that person that may be listening and saying you don't understand, I want to convey to you that you're valuable and that as black men that we got to do a better job of stepping up, because that same energy that we putting into fighting each other, man, there's a bigger fight that can be had here. And there was a time and place that black men all stood together and we fought oppression. We fought civil rights. We made sure that our women, that they were protected. We made sure that our kids were raised, all of that. And all this energy at the end of the day is that what are we fighting over? Because we don't own any of the property or any of the blocks that we fighting on. All the money that we get, and obviously we can tell that there's multiple ways to get money. It's just and again, I think I put a lot of the onus on the OGs. The OGs got to do a better job of showing these younger kids that there's other ways to do it. There's other ways to make it. There's other ways to make money. But at the same time, it's a cycle. If that's all you know, then that's all you know.
But can we blame the OGs? They were taken away from us. A lot of our OGs were taken away from us. Like, during the crack era, doing you know what I'm saying, like
mass incarceration,
I got you. The Bill Clinton law, you know what I'm saying, that the 3-strike law, like you know, like they've done this for so long, and so as you start taking that foundation, because they're a big part of that foundation, and so you take them away. Now we got to we have to basically reinvent ourselves. And this is what we're doing. This is how we live. And that's why these young dudes don't have no structure.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. And when I say I don't blame them, I'm saying I put a lot of onus on the OGs because you're asking somebody to play a game. It's to me, it's like this. You're asking, if I play Monopoly and I took away your $1,500 and I took away your $1,500, but I kept my $1,500.
Damn, I can't have my $1,500 like that.
That's what I'm saying. So we're playing a game where the rules are rigged.
Got it.
Playing a game where the rules are rigged for you to lose and for you to take somebody out with you when you go. So why are you playing the game? And again, I'm not saying it's all on the OGs, but what I am saying is there's a big onus on the OGs because we should be advising our younger generation better. That's all I'm saying. If you've lived it, you've seen it, you know what the rules are, you've seen that the game is rigged, then why would you encourage anybody else to keep playing that game?
Because we gamble with our life every day. So at the end of the day, they're like, well, you know what? This is we were born in the game. We were born in the game. Like, so all we can do is play. Like, you were born in the game. You were born in the game. I was born in the game. Did you start off with more property? Did you start off with more money? Did you start off with more property? Did you start off with more money, more automobiles, all that? Anybody could have, but we are all still on this board playing this weird ass fucking game, and it's like we want to stop. We don't want to be here on the fucking board, but they're not letting us. We like, nah, get back in there, nigga.
Yeah,
get back in there.
I think what it is a lot of time. What's going on now is there's not too much influence from the OGs anymore because they don't have. They're not getting the respect that they deserve.
Well, I don't think they're getting the respect they deserve because they've been giving up so much fucked up advice. Why would I trust my OG when my OG is worse off than I am, or I've seen that he keeps putting me in a position that he benefits from what I'm doing rather than I benefit from what I'm doing.
So I'm gonna just go ahead.
I'm gonna just go do what I need to go do on my own. I don't need no OG because whatever I do, it's always I'm giving him the money, giving him the credit, giving him or doing him sending me on these little weird little missions to go shoot up and go do this. Why ain't you going out, OG? I can go figure it out on my own. I think that's what I think some of the lack of respect that comes from the younger generation is because they wised up and they not just listening to what the older people saying and trusting it. They're like, nah, let me look into this a little bit more because I need to see what you're saying is true. And when they find out and they check it out, sometimes it don't come out that it's true.
Right.
Word be traveling.
Right.
And some of the OGs that be giving the best advice, some of them ain't got the best track record.
So are we talking about the OGs that got locked up and came back home? Or are we talking about the OGs that never left? Because some of the OGs that got locked up and came back home and try to tell motherfuckers what to do and shit. It's like, nigga, you ain't been here how long?
Really, both.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they still have an influence.
Like we just because you an OG don't mean that you run this shit around here. Because now these young dudes, they got the information. Right. They have access to so much stuff now. It's like we don't need your game no more. Oh, shit.
Right.
Nigga phone for the phone. Like we got all our information right here. We can go get all the information that we need, all the game. Like they can look that shit up. And so it's like, what do we need you for?
Right. So this,
you wasn't doing shit for us anyway.
See, and I would even say, even just on a regular level, I think that happens on a regular level.
Yeah.
Where kids, they check what their parents be saying. They be like, I'm gonna go look it up. And then when enough times that you find out what your parents saying ain't true, then he's like, you know what? Nah, I ain't gonna listen to what you gotta say. Right. But at the same time, I mean, the onus is on the younger generation. Y'all gotta listen to the OGs because they lived it.
Yeah,
you may think that you know well, but there's an old saying. It said, "Old fools used to be young fools."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard that saying.
So you may think you know better, but you might be listening to, even if you don't think it's coming from a good place. My thing of it is information is key. I'm gonna get all the information I can so I can make the best decision I can possibly. Even if I don't think that what you're saying is true, let me hear what you got to say so that I can then, because if I have more information, then I can make a better decision. You know what I'm saying? Because if I only get one source of information, then it's like I'm only going off of one source. I need to get 3, 4, 5 different sources and then check them all out and do my own investigating.
Right.
So I think we're kind of getting a little off, but I think what you're saying is true though. I think now with so much access to information, you may not have to get it from the OG from the block. You can go
that's
check.
All we used to. That's all we had was the OGs. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they didn't tell you, if they didn't tell you some shit that you didn't live it, you didn't know shit.
Right.
One of the biggest things too is like the OGs don't know. Some of the OGs don't know how to repackage that information to
how to talk or communicate.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can't talk the way you used to back in the early 2000s and the 90s. You got to be able to talk to them now.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And a lot of the kids aren't understanding because it's like, what are you talking about?
That's true. Yeah, I think so. I think you have to know your audience at all times.
Right.
And this younger generation, what's it called? Gen Z?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's Gen Z.
Were we X?
We're the millennials.
No, we're the millennials. The X before us.
Wait, when were you born?
I was born 85? 85? Yeah.
I was 86. I'm a millennial.
We're millennials.
I think it's Gen Z.
Nathan Gen Z.
Gen Z, Nate, right?
Yeah, Nathan Gen Z.
Yeah. They're different.
Yeah.
We grew up
Completely different.
like on the cusp of the internet age. Like internet really started popping for me like maybe like middle school, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Like the early 2000s. like
Yeah,
98, 99.
I'm about to dial up.
Yeah. had the damn AOL trial, the 7-day trial disc. You had to keep on getting them.
You got to get the trials.
But they grew up with the internet,
Right.
like as kids. You know what I'm saying? And then the generation before them is going to be growing up with the same thing. I mean, you see it now. You walk in Target, you see 2-year-olds with tablets in their hand, iPads, the whole nine. So
and they know exactly what they're doing on there.
And it's different. It's different. It's not the same. Like we grew up. Like I was talking to my mom about this the last week, where she was like, "Man, I feel so sorry for this upcoming generation." She said, "Because y'all used to be outside," and she said, "And you would know where your friend was at based on if the bike was in front of somebody else's house." And it's like, now these kids, they stay in their room, they on the internet, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I said, but it's just different.
It is. They're still being interactive. You know what I mean?
But not like how we were outside.
We was outside.
Like it was a problem if you came back inside.
Yeah.
For me. Like my mom would say, go find something to do. And you need to be back before the street lights come on. Now, parents are scared to send their kids outside and don't want them to be, and they gotta be overprotective and whatever. So it's just different.
But look how this world has changed. Like all the pedophiles and all the child trafficking.
See,
and all
but
that
has not changed.
Has it changed, or are we just more aware of it?
Yeah, we have just now being more.
You know what? The milk cartons and all that shit. We used to see that shit.
Yeah, we're missing kids back then.
So we just didn't really know. And this phone era really exposed a lot of shit. But
it's no different.
I don't know. Like,
I think stats said that it's safer now than it was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I just think we're not.
The cameras?
The phones.
I just think we're just not aware of it. I just don't think we were aware of it. Because how could you be aware of that? Only way you would know is if somebody told you.
Yep.
Yeah.
News, or like if you hear on the news, or somebody directly hearing from it. Other than that, you didn't know.
I think there was still
I feel like the truth is coming out now, like about everything, like, and we just feel like damn, like this been going on, like damn, like I think we had way too much trust in the government, like, you know what I'm saying, like we did, like we trusted them way too much.
Well, unless you lived in like an inner city, like if you were in Oakland, if you were in New York, like if you were in Detroit, like because they saw it straight, like up close and personal, where they were getting fucked by the government every single time. Philly, Detroit, like if you grew up in a city that had like the Black Panthers, or grew up in a city that had more like a radical groups that were in those cities, then you got the information. Because when you would walk down the street, they would be handing you flyers telling you, hey, fight the power, etc. But living in the suburbs, we were kind of,
that wasn't included.
If you were in the suburbs, you were not given that information.
Right.
Because you were not on the front line.
You weren't exposed.
Inner city was on the front line every time. So, I wasn't around here early, like when Oak Park and G Parkway and all them was like popping, but I would assume that there was some organizations and stuff probably trying to give people the information back then.
That's a good thought. I can't picture somebody being in the Black Panther Party living in a gated community.
No, because there's no need.
Right.
In a gated community, I mean, because they're going to experience, so them living in a gated community and them trying to do regular shit, just being a black man, they're going to get fucked with. And so that's what's going to cause them to want to bring the light to that situation. Like, why you treat me like this? Like, prime example, what was the little boy name? I totally forgot his name. He had the Skittles and the hoodie.
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin. He wasn't doing nothing when the gated community got killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like that shows you right there. He didn't have nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah, it's all interesting points.
Yeah,
I just think at the end of the day, like, just like if you go to therapy, the first thing they teach you is focus on what you can control. So for us as black men, I know, and we always have this narrative of black men versus black women, who's more trash, who doesn't do this. Like, for us, we got to start focusing on what we do and having the conversation with each other on how we can help each other out and uplift our own people, because stronger men make a stronger community. Stronger men make stronger families. Stronger men, and like all these things. And that's why I used to hate when we would have those conversations and black women used to say things, and the first thing a black man would say, oh, but what about what y'all do? I'm like, bro, just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen. If she says that she don't feel like she's protected, then she don't feel like she protected. If she feel like that she ain't got no choices up in the dating pool, then bro, she feel like that. Like you arguing ain't gonna change what she got to say. And if anything, you're only validating what she's saying. She's validating that y'all don't listen and that y'all don't be there for it. Now you may not think that's true in your experience, but two truths can exist in the same room.
Yep.
Because we all have different perspectives. But the bottom line is, for you to be there for somebody, you got to listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
I think that people got to understand a feeling is just a feeling. I can feel like you're the worst person in the world, but that don't make you the worst person in the world. That's just a feeling until you change the way that I view you. Mm-hmm. So she feels that way until someone changes the way that she views men or the dating pool. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to look at that. And to be honest, nobody's probably going to change that. She's probably trash.
Well,
yeah.
To me, people got to stop taking that personal, because if you feel like that, the feeling is based off of an experience. Mm-hmm. So it may have been a past experience that made her lead to that. So what I'm saying, so back to my point, if you arguing her down, why are you arguing her down? That's her experience. And now, again, you are validating her feeling because she told you that she thought men were trash or whatever it is. And then you are basically invalidating how she felt about it. And my thing of it is, it's not my job to change somebody's perspective, but it is my job to listen. Because if she says that, and if I hear from enough people, then it's like, I'm not the spokesperson for all black men. But I can influence my sphere. I can influence my community. I can influence my family. And if it's a narrative, all I'm just saying is black men just listen. And again, it may not be true to you, and that's fine. You can disagree, but just listen. Just listen. I think what I see is too many men are responding without listening, and they're like, it's kind of like a tit for tat. Oh, men are trash. Oh, women are trash. Oh, men don't listen. Women don't listen. Oh, men do this. Or women don't. It's like, it doesn't have to be a tit for tat. Why does it got to be a tit for tat? I see that a lot.
Because everything's always been a tit for tat.
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't have to be. But when somebody feels attacked, they're going to attack back.
Okay, so great point. Mm-hmm. So why do you feel attacked?
Because they feel some type of way.
Because when somebody says black men are trash,
they feel like they're getting cornered. They feel like they're getting cornered.
I know, but listen though, if somebody says black men are trash, black men is a general statement. Mm-hmm. Does that mean you are trash?
Yes.
It sounds like it.
Yes.
To me, it doesn't, because if I know I'm not trash, then I'm not included in that group. And what I'm saying, I think that you can't get into a conversation where you are taking it personal, because it's just a feeling. My feelings don't make what you are true, correct? Because it's a projection, or it's
somebody saying that's like somebody saying like, I fuck everybody else, I fuck anybody in this house up, but you in the house, so they got to be talking about you,
right? Right. You're
right.
included in that grouping.
Yeah.
So then if I say this, and we actually gonna get into that conversation a little bit later. If I say women are submissive, do I mean all women are submissive, or am I saying that as a general statement?
Only some are.
Okay. So if I say, if a woman says black men are trash, is she saying all black men are trash, or is she saying some of them?
What's the first one you said?
General. I said women are submissive.
Okay, so women are designed to be submissive. Yes, they are designed to be.
But what if I say women are submissive? Am I saying every single woman that lives on the earth, or am I saying the general or the women that I've encountered?
But you don't talk like that.
It sounds like all.
Does it?
It sounds like all. When you say women are submissive.
What?
Women
are. But here's the thing, though. Okay, here's the thing, though. We know for a fact that it's not true. Right? We know for a fact there are some women who aren't, and there are some women who are.
Right.
Right? And it goes on to the same conversation about the whole all black men when it comes to black men. Right?
So I think that's different. If I said all black men are trash, that's all. But if I just say black men are trash, I think that's a general statement.
But that's the same.
What's the difference?
No, it ain't.
Okay. Let me.
So look, I just okay. Look, so the example
all black
I just
men
gave,
is still a general.
All
follow
black
me.
men and black men.
No, follow me, because you just said when I said women are submissive, you said some women are submissive.
Okay.
But if I said all women are submissive, then that would include all, right? Okay, we're gonna move on.
Well, because I get
It's
what
semantic.
saying.
I felt dumb as hell right there.
Right. I was like, hey, don't clip this. Don't clip this. But no,
I
like
think we're playing semantics at this point.
It is. It's semantics.
It's semantics.
It's all
Because you know
depends
what?
on what it
I can
is.
understand if somebody takes it either way. But in my opinion, if somebody says that, I take it as a general statement.
Well, let me say this. I feel like men are losing their voice. And as men, as black men, I feel like the way that they're doing, the way that women are taking the approach, where they're pushing us back to where they didn't want to be years ago. And that's how I truly feel. And I feel like whenever we try to say something, they gang up on us, and it's like this and it's like that, and it's like nah, and it's like what we have to say doesn't matter anymore unless they allow it to matter. Just like how some women will only allow a man to lead when they feel like it. But there's some other races that as soon as you get into a relationship, that's the man, he automatically leads.
Well,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I got you. I think that's fair.
That's definitely fair.
See, but I think that's why I was saying black men need to have that conversation amongst black men. We need to have that conversation amongst ourselves, because I think too many times we try to include women in our conversations when it doesn't really have anything to do with them.
And let me just reiterate, I love sisters, and that's all I date, sisters. And so let me just throw that out there before I get dragged.
No, you're not gonna get dragged.
Okay, make sure. I just want to make sure.
No.
I just want to make sure. Like, if she can't use my comb, then she don't need to come home. All of that. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to any.
There's a lot of black men that feel like that. But again, I think we include women in conversations that maybe they don't need to be included in, because we are like asking them to and it's like some of the conversations like we're having right now, it's just amongst us. Like, and I'm gonna just say this really, really quick, and then I want to move on to the next segment. There was a conversation where I said, and it was jokingly, I said, if we're taking our boys to the barbershop, don't ask us to come with us. And I was talking to women. It was a joke. And I got dragged. If I want to come to the barbershop, I'm going to come to the barbershop.
No.
If I want to bring my son and kick my con, and it said, but I'm a single mom. I said, first of all, if we are taking our son to their barbershop, don't ask to come with us. I'm not talking about single moms. I said, obviously, if there's no man in the house, then you are to take your kids to the barbershop. Then I said, then like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I said, that is a space for men to conversate amongst men. So when you come into the barbershop and you are budging or asking to come with us, that is a time for us to bond with our sons, and that is a time for boys to be around men, hopefully wiser men. We don't need you in that space. And I'm not saying you can't come. I'm not saying as a single mom you can't bring your boy. What I'm saying is give us some space to have conversations amongst other men. And I'm telling you, they jumped on my, remember? It was like a 200 comment post where it was like, how dare you tell women that we can't come to the barbershop? I said, you didn't even listen to what I said.
But
You listen to what I said.
Most women, when they're taking their sons, because they're single moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, they take them to the barbershop and feel uncomfortable anyway. So it's like, now you want to go with me because I'm coming? Like, no, stay your ass at home. Like, and I'm just being honest. Let me take care of this. Like, this is me and my son. Like, I'm not finna, if that was my daughter and you was like, go take her to go get her hair done. That's your time.
Right.
That's your time. That's your time.
Go get facials, go do all that little shit. That's your time. This is our time. Like, this is our time to bond. That's just like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna take my son to go shoot some hoops. Or we gonna go play catch. Like, we don't need you. Like, I can throw the ball, he can throw the ball. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't see no problem in that. But I got dragged for it because I'm excluding women. And it's like, there's some places that you can't go. And there's some places I can't go. Or not that I can't go, I should not want to go. If you are spending time, if you taking your daughter to the hair salon, go.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there because you might be talking about things that you want to feel comfortable. And I just think, again, that's why I was saying, we feel like that, or we have issues because we don't have too many safe spaces for men to have conversation amongst men.
Facts.
Barbershop is probably one of not the only, if not the only place to do that. So now you want to come and sit down and listen to what we talk about at the barbershop?
Right.
No man is going to feel comfortable talking with you being there because there's some things that men just have conversations about that if it was put out in public, you would be wanting to counsel us or say that we trash or say that we this. But it's like the same way that girl talk, I guarantee you, if we expose, if you a woman right now, if we expose your group chat text messages, I guarantee you that we say that some of the shit that you say in there is trash.
Man.
Because you have a safe space because you do that. So let men be men in a certain space. That's all I'm just saying.
Right. And why would we bring our woman to somewhere that's like all men are
Male dominated.
Male dominated. There's no other women going to be there.
No.
We're assuming there's no other women going to be there. We're going somewhere to where it's just guys. It's not like we're going to go out to. We're not just going
and so we can
bar.
feel free to talk.
And then that single mom comes into the barbershop with that fat ass, and she leave. We can go, woo, shit, you see that ass, boy? Woo, this and that, blah, blah.
See, but we're respectful. Boy. We're respectful enough that if a single mom did come in, then we change the conversation.
Right. Yeah.
And we allow you to be into the conversation. Or some women drop their son off because they know, like, hey, I'm gonna leave you with the fella. But you know, it is what it is. I don't want this pod to be man versus woman and woman versus man. But people gonna hear it and misconstrue it. I don't care. Y'all can't cancel us. Y'all can't cancel us because we own the podcast.
I love black women.
We all love black women. We all love black women. Like I said,
I love black women.
We all love black women.
You know, I love women in general. I just want to let them be known so I don't get too dragged.
If there's any podcast that advocates for women, this is one of them. Many times that we talk about being a man includes you protecting women and you protecting black women specifically because they feel like that they're unprotected. And I got killed for that. I get killed for everything I say. I said that I got called all kind of simps.
That's why I don't say shit.
Got called a simp for saying we should protect black women. Then I get dragged for saying that if I take my son to the barbershop, that you can't go.
See, the internet is a interesting place.
I don't care.
No.
But we should be protecting black women though.
Yeah.
Like, why shouldn't we? Like every other race gonna protect that women.
I'm gonna be real with you. If you start paying attention to the comments and the posts and shit, and within even the group, that a lot of niggas don't give a fuck.
Nope.
They don't. Nope. You got the question that you brought up about the whole dates, right?
Oh,
at that point, when I start seeing how low these niggas were talking about, they don't want to spend money on women. They don't like women.
God.
They don't like women.
Wait.
So it was a video where a young lady went to a date. Like it was like she went on a date on her own. Mm-hmm. So she got dressed. She bought her food, had a nice drink, and it looked like she enjoyed herself. So all I said was, men, when women say they want to go on a date, this is what they're talking about. Meaning they want to get dressed up, they want to look nice, they want to go to a place out to eat, and they want to have a good time. That's all I said. And then about 20 men come in there. Oh, I ain't doing all that. I ain't spending no money on no bra. We going back to the house, blah, 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 blah. Then I followed up by saying, how much money do you think you should spend on a woman that you're pursuing that you have interest in? Zero.
$12. So somebody said I'm willing to drop like $12, $13.
If she's your woman, if she's your woman and she's proven that she is your woman and she got your back.
No, she ain't your woman yet.
But she ain't your woman.
A woman that you're interested in, that you are actively pursuing.
I mean,
how much are you willing to spend on a date?
If you was gonna go,
if you like this girl and you really pursuing,
like it's a girl that you feeling that you told your boys about.
Like
how much are you willing to spend?
I love black women. No, look, all right, look, here we go. All right, so look, I don't really be doing a lot of dates like that.
All right, hold on, okay,
It'd be a lot of Hennessy.
So you don't. Okay, now listen. That's not the question.
That's not the question.
The question is, if you find that one that you like, man, she bad, she's sophisticated, she's somebody that can hold me down.
I'm gonna see what's up about this.
And you trying to actively pursue her. Just the first date. Just let's just say that the first date.
We just gonna get something to eat, some simple like we.
But that involves money, right?
I mean, yeah, but okay. I would have. I mean,
where are you taking her?
I don't know, something. So I'm gonna ask her.
Where are you thinking? If you look, the ball is in your court. You have everything. You're the person
who's pursuing her. I'm not taking her
nowhere
nowhere expensive because I don't know if I like her.
No, you already like, you know what?
You know who she like. Okay, let me try to clear this up. You've been talking.
Okay.
She's cool.
Okay.
You know her. She is potential wifey. She to the point where you've stopped talking to all your other girls.
Okay.
Well, that's what I mean. Actively pursuing, meaning that like that you focusing on her.
Yeah, this ain't just one on the roster that you're trying to.
I'm sorry. I was vague. Y'all. I'm sorry. Don't kill him in the comments.
Okay.
I was vague. That's my bad.
I don't know. We could just go somewhere cool. Like I don't mind spending money on somebody.
How much? How much you willing to spend? Ballpark range.
I don't know. I'm cheap with it. Like I don't know. Like it just depends. Like it depends how the night goes. Because if we just go eat, right? Then
it's a great night.
That might be like $78.
Okay.
Something like that.
So that's
but it might turn into something else because we might go eat. We might go. Say we
go bowling
or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it can get pricey. I'm okay with that because the night is going good.
Yes.
Right. So how much?
So it sounds like 125.
Nah, definitely more than that. I would say probably on the same.
Eating and then bowling.
Like
I think that's
like
fine.
80.
But then drinks,
$80 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then drinks. You got to think drinks. When you
Drinks
go bowling,
factor in.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Things like that. So
close to the 200 something range.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind. I probably wouldn't mind because that was that night designated for that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That night was designated for that. Now, if it was just like on a fluke with somebody like,
No. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
Psych.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about the jump off.
Because I'm an advocate for a first date. If you don't know them, it should be something chill where you're not spending a whole bunch of money.
Right.
Because you're just trying to get to know them. But what I'm saying is when, like I said, if she's bad enough for you to stop talking to every other girl you dating,
This is like the third, fourth date.
And you focusing on her, that's what I'm talking about. And see, and this is what I'm talking about listening. Women have been saying this shit. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about men in general.
I'm listening. I'm listening. That's
women, ask a woman, dog, because it was crazy to me. A lot of the women that I used to date would tell me, I've never been on a real date.
No, oh my
And
God.
I'm like, you've never been on a real date? No. It was always Redbox. It was always Netflix. It was always this. I'm like, all right, like, let's go out. Like, just a simple dinner. And like, they would be like, oh my God, you opened my door. Oh my God, I've never had nobody pay for my meal. Oh my God, and I'm just like,
the bar is set so low.
I'm like, yo, to me, this is basic shit. I'm like, and nobody's done this for you? She's like, nah. So I'm like, so for me, it don't even got to be a lot of money. It's just adventures. Like, I'll do like wine tasting. Like, I'll go down to Clarksburg to what's the old Sugar Mill. It's like $20. But it's just the getting out and like, again, women want to look good. Women want to get dressed because every woman got that dress that's in their closet with the heels, with the makeup. They want to look good for their man. So I'm like, but you got to give them opportunity to do that. If you at the house all the time, what's she going to do?
I ain't gonna lie though. I'm gonna just keep it real because you're 100% right. What you just said is 100% right. But first of all, bitch, if you ain't been to if that's all you used to is Redbox and Netflix and chill, I'm not taking you on a date. Then we finna give you what you're used to. Then I'm finna say the date for somebody that's used to dates because you gonna get on a date and act hella extra like
But see, that's what
I keep the same energy.
But that's what I typically do. So it's not about what you're used to. It's just I typically do that because the date's for me too.
Right.
I want to go out and have a good time. I want to enjoy the vibe.
Nah, like,
fuck your life.
Bing bong. No, dead ass. Like I said on mine, I'm willing to spend a couple of $100 on a date. Because I know how it goes.
If she a somebody, yeah. Like,
I want to have fun too.
Look,
it's for me.
Look, I'm not somebody who just goes out to eat. If we're only going out to eat,
that
ain't
gets old real quick.
Right? No, we're gonna go do some shit. I like being competitive, so we might end up going to like
Top golf.
some Top Golf. We might go some Dave and Buster's, some bowling, some mini golf and shit. There's a lot of things. It's relatively cheap. It's just everything that adds up, and then the drinks.
Yeah,
but
drinks is what's gonna get you there.
Right, but I know for a fact that I'm going to be spending a certain amount of money. Right. If I know that I want to spend some time with you today, I'm going to be putting up some bread, and I'm okay with that.
And you're willing to spend it.
Right, I'm willing to
You
spend
just
it.
gotta be willing to invest into the woman if that's who you dealing with. Now you cut all the other women off, and this way you are clearly investing your time and everything into her. So that shouldn't be a problem. But like if you're not no investment, like if I don't know,
That's different.
Like,
that's different.
Completely different.
That's
completely
different. I like being in new experiences and seeing how you act around in a different arena. I want to see how do you like wine taste. I want to see how you like being in a bowling competitive fun.
Right.
Are you touchy feely? Are you flirt? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's
what kind
do
of
all the
person
different
are
things.
you?
And at the end of the day, if it's like, yo, let's just go to the house. To me, it's just lame. I'm just gonna call it.
I ain't gonna
I'm
lie.
just gonna call it what it is. I'm gonna call it
lie.
what it is because I want to just see what's what.
Right.
But you're willing. But you said you're willing to go out and do the day. Nah, these niggas. These niggas don't.
We gonna come to the house.
Young Nate.
Young
Nate. Come on, dog. Have a dating fun and take these girls out on dates, man.
He getting paid. He getting paid.
I know
he can.
I'm just saying, man.
His girlfriend don't live out here no more though.
Crazy. It's crazy. Matter of fact, in the comments, young ladies, if you have never been on a date, comment in the comments. Niggas gonna be surprised.
No, for real. Like
niggas gonna be surprised. Niggas gonna be surprised.
I'm telling you, the bar is set so low.
Some women don't think like, oh well, we went over here that one today. I be having to tell women like, look, like, hey, if I went on a date with you, it's like, hey, that was a date. Like that counts as a date. I came to woo. Oh, okay, that's a date. I be trying to add my little dates up so I could be like, okay, that was the third date. Like clapping them cheeks.
This nigga said the tally. This nigga got on he got on the calendar and shit. Date 1, date 2, date cheeks.
Clapping with the cheeks.
Bruh, I would look. And here's the thing though. It's not hard to do a date,
bro.
It's not hard to do a
20.
date.
You can do a Groupon date. Matter of fact,
I went on a hiking date the other day.
That's what I'm saying, dog. You can go on Groupon. There's salsa classes for like $10, and you get to touch and feel. You know what I'm saying? She active or whatever. Like. Women like different shit because you're exposing. Look, I'm gonna tell you this.
Experiences.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you this. If you can put a woman on to something new, oh my God. She will remember you for the rest of her life because even if it's music, oh man, I remember, like, because as soon as the song play, I remember Tevis put me on Eric Bellinger. Or, like I said, go on wine taste. Wine tasting is hella easy to me. Oh, I remember Tevis took me and we tried this new wine and hit you up. Hey, Tevis, that wine that we tasted that one day, do you remember what that wine was? Oh, yeah, that was such and such and such and such. Smooth with it. Smooth with it. Or, again, just take you salsa dancing. Oh, I've never been salsa dancing. And then whenever she hear salsa or hear music like that, oh, man, I remember when... Let me go ahead and text Tevis real quick because ain't no other nigga took me salsa dancing.
You know what? I got one where you put a woman on something new that they ain't used to. Orgasm.
Here we go.
Fuck your life. Bing bong.
You want a nigga? Nigga here now.
Here we go.
Look, speaking 11% chance of being able to get that shit. I'm in that 11 percentile. You feel me?
You just gotta know what you gotta do because you gotta do what you gotta do.
Bro, I'm telling you, look, if you can take yourself out of the whole equation of I'm gonna get mine. Right? If you can you realize I'm gonna get mine, let me make sure I'm gonna get hers because niggas are selfish.
Okay. Speaking of orgasms and speaking of sex, this is gonna turn into something different. Okay? So let me play this. So on the Lil Durk interview, he mentioned something similar. So we're gonna go ahead and listen to what he got to say. I want to react, and then so we can get to the because the successful woman clip. I want to get to. We have to get to that. We got to get to that. Okay,
that's
I'm gonna play this. So we'll do a quick reaction, and then okay. Hold on. I'll make sure this is. There we go.
And me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm petty as hell. Like, if you fucked a lot of niggas, all that, I ain't gonna wife you. That's me.
That's me too.
I wake up in the middle of the night, get mad over shit 4 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
that's just
That's me too, nigga.
Yeah, but it's like, everything about it, like, being real, not cheating, she ain't been passed around, and it was like, a body count, that's what really did it.
Okay.
This why my favorite youngin. No, you see, that's why my motherfucking favorite fucking youngin, man.
It's my favorite fucking.
So they were asking him basically what led to him settling down with the girl that he with. So we're gonna ask the quick question so we can get onto it. Body count. If she has first of all, do we even ask the question?
Nope.
Second question is, if she does that make her ineligible to be wifed?
So here's what I think is needs to be.
So first, hold on. Let's preface this. The first question was no. You don't ask.
Don't ask.
Okay.
Don't ask me. I want to ask you.
Okay.
All right. Don't ask me. I want to ask you. Don't ask. Don't tell. Right. So the thing is, when it comes to the body count doesn't necessarily matter. It's about how many of those bodies do you know.
Okay.
Because say you got two girls,
I'm following
same body count, right? One's from your hometown, one moved out from somewhere else. Same high ass body count. Do you give a shit?
Talking
on both sides?
about who I know, correct?
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Right. She knows a few niggas that you know. This girl knows nobody you know. Right? Same amount of body count.
It's the women in common. I got you. Okay. So it does if you know them. But how would you know them? Just by word, just word of mouth, whatever? Okay.
So
I got you.
I think it's, if she smashed a homie or something, like, then I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that you done smashed the homie, like, I'm not finna wife you. Like, I might smash too, just to see, because he said it was cool.
I'm trying to see what that like.
I'm trying to get my dude. But like, other than that, I'm not looking to wife you. Like, come on, bro. Like how am I supposed to marry you? And this might be one of my best men, and he didn't smash. Like,
I got you.
Like that can't happen.
So not the amount, it's who.
Yeah, I don't really care about the amount, because like see, this is the issue. If you got a lot of bodies and you can't serve that, and you don't know how to fuck, then that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
You did all that for what?
Like all that for what?
All that work.
But now,
But
if you a throat goat and you got the slob on your knob, like
the knob goblin
spit, and it go low and you suck it back up, and you just like, you know what I'm saying? Say you like a sprinkler when you the sheets.
She got that chameleon tongue spit.
No. But listen,
Hey.
like if that's what it's about, then like, okay, that's cool. Like, cause I don't give a fuck you. I don't give a fuck who you the fuck, because you can now satisfy me, and that comes with the territory, because like. Women like niggas hadn't fucked a lot of bitches too sometimes, because they know we can fuck. We got the experience. You know what I'm saying? Say you get a female that ain't really got nobody, she might not know what the fuck to do. Hey, unless she was really fucking that nigga a lot of times.
Hey, what they say? They say whoever the freaky is, like if you guys have freaky ass sex, one of y'all was a hoe.
Yeah. That was me. High five. That was a whole five.
Nigga said a whole dap.
Oh my God.
Fuck your life. Bing bong.
All right, man. All right. We gonna get on to the next clip. All right, so damn, man, I ain't got no background on this. I just know this shit's been going around the damn internet like wildfire. So there's a podcast where these men are on there talking about, basically the clip title is "Successful Women Are Less Attractive." That is the preface of it. So we're gonna play the clip, but I'm gonna tell y'all this, and y'all gotta stop falling for this shit. When niggas do podcasts, we do it too. When niggas do podcasts, they put out the clip that is most controversial to get you to listen to it. It worked.
Clickbait.
But to react or to have an opinion or to have a comment, y'all gotta listen to the whole context of the damn clip. The same way with articles. Y'all post a quote from the article, and then, or like you post a website and it'll be like some crazy clickbait shit. And then when you read the article, you're like, that had nothing to do with the damn clip, or it had nothing to do with the article. Like, they're getting y'all to try to get to damn just open it and stream it or whatever. And we got to stop falling for that. Like, it's really not that difficult to understand when somebody's trying to get you to listen to their podcast. And for men, a lot of times
it's easy.
All y'all do is y'all post, and especially these alpha male, red pill males guys, they post like the most disrespectful thing they said on the podcast to get women riled up. They comment in the comments, they argue to beat the algorithm, and then y'all end up watching it.
Shout out Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, that's basically that. So we're gonna play the clip. We're gonna react to it. So if we do the same shit, don't blame us. We just trying to trick the algorithm too.
Hey, you feel me? Don't play the game. You know what I'm saying? Can't hate the game. Play it.
Exactly.
You feel me?
All right.
It's crazy.
You don't need a Batman.
I actually had a woman tell me, she says, I got a good job. I make very, very good money. And she says, the only thing I need now is a man. It's like, yo, like, it's like, who wants you? Who wants you? You're right. Like, once you have achieved these things, you have unfortunately disqualified yourself.
Ooh,
and
shit.
And what it is these, and this is the thing, I'm not blaming
the women are gonna hate him for that shit.
No, see,
they are gonna hate him for that. I can't wait to put this shit out.
They should love me.
He said it, ladies.
They should love me for this shit because the women, I don't think they understand that, and I don't blame the women for that. I blame these weak ass Negroes out here.
Fair.
Like, because these women, they don't want to wait. You got this social media.
Okay, hold on. So the clip stopped. I just want to make sure y'all know. The clip stopped, baby, about 15 seconds ago from what was on the internet. So this is the extended version of the clip. So I'm gonna just rewind a little bit so we can make sure that we get the full context. And this is for the Keeping It Real segment. All right, so we gonna keep it real. We're gonna go ahead and play this again.
Achieve these things, you have unfortunately disqualified yourself.
Ooh, shit.
And what it is these, and this is the thing, I'm not blaming
the women are gonna hate him for that shit.
No, see,
they are gonna hate him for that.
They
I can't wait to put this shit out.
They should love me
He
for
said
that
it,
shit.
ladies.
They should love me for this shit because the women, I don't think they understand that. And I don't blame the women for that. I blame these weak ass Negroes out here.
Fair.
Like, because these women, they don't want to wait. You got this social media phenomenon and they see this lifestyle. They don't want to wait to find you to build the lifestyle that they want. So they go out and build it themselves. And when they build it themselves, it's like, yo,
what I need you for?
What?
And see, it's some of that, and it's also upbringing as well, because it's a generational thing that's happening. Like right now, we're experiencing the generational wrath of what has happened prior, like is what we're seeing. Because in these households, these women are being taught to prioritize their education. They're being taught to prioritize their job and their work.
They've had to.
They're being taught.
I'm throwing that out there that they've had to, especially women that look like us. Primarily because like they are the least protected in the United States.
Which makes sense. And they have, so what has happened is women have fallen out of trust with the masculine. And because they have fallen out of trust with the masculine, they have become the fucking masculine.
Yep.
And that is the biggest problem now. And that's why, a lot of these guys, I mean, this is going to be really controversial, but I just spoke to a brother that was talking about a guy that he knew that's in the league. And this guy that's in the league, he made the statement, and this is, oh man, it kind of hurt me. Yeah. He said, I would never date another black woman again. That's what he said. He said, because these white women, they were groomed to be submissive. They were groomed to be feminine, and they were groomed to be this way to their man. Now, here's the thing. White men actually, experiencing some of this bullshit too, because their women are also becoming very masculine and feminist and falling out of trust with their masculine, but they still have preserved,
not so much.
They still have preserved this level of femininity and submissiveness in some women, where now a lot of the men are targeting those women specifically to have this type of household that they want to have. And it sucks because me too, I have this one young.
Okay, he's gonna get into a personal story about what he's doing. So that is the full context
And
of that clip. So I'm not saying people's reactions were right. I'm not saying people's reactions were wrong. But what I'm saying is when you have full context, you're able to give a better response. So now that we have a better idea of where that conversation was going, keep it real.
So when it comes to the whole, so when he says they come less attractive, he's not wrong, but at the same time, he's not fully correct. Okay. Right? He's when it comes to him not being wrong, it is not on the whole unattractive part. It's more on, it's less likely that I feel like I'll be able to cooperate with you because I'm not sure if you're going to be ready to cooperate with me.
Got it.
Well, successful women have I can do this without you mentality.
Got it.
Right? They don't need you, and they will let you know on a regular they don't need you.
Not all of them. You're
Not
saying
all of them.
Generally.
No, generally.
I just want to clear it up. So generally, okay.
Yes. I was talking to a woman who a few years older than me, successful, has her own shit, and she told me she does not know how to cooperate. She's dealt with a lot of good men, but she's not ready to cooperate. She doesn't. She's not ready to listen. She admits that she is hard-headed. She's done these things. She's done the way herself. And why would she need him? Why would she get to where she got to without a man, and then get a man for what? Because she feels like when she gets into a relationship with a man, he's going to want to try to control her and try to lead her in certain ways, but she's not going to be able to trust him because she's been able to trust herself the entire time.
And I think that's what his original point was.
Right. So that's where he went to the whole, women have to be masculine because not enough men are being masculine. Not enough men know how to be masculine. That's where we got all this issue of the alpha male and I'm this and I'm that, right? Because when you have the alpha male and the beta male, you don't want to be anything else but an alpha.
Correct.
Right? So you don't know, you start acting differently because you think this is what an alpha is supposed to act like, when in fact you have to understand who the hell you are and how to control yourself and trust yourself before you can even claim you're an alpha.
Right.
Not everybody is, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You can't have a whole squad of alphas, because then who the hell's then you have to have a beta.
Yeah.
Right? But when it comes to the relationships of men and women, yes, most women who are going to be successful are going to have a lot of masculine energy due to the fact that they had to. They had to run this shit themselves. They had to get there themselves. They couldn't trust nobody else. So it's like, why I don't have the feminine energy in me is not working to do what I need to do. So I need to go ahead and be masculine, and they don't know how to turn it off.
Got it.
All right. So first of all, he said a lot.
He said a lot
of shit. Okay.
And it was different men. So for those that are listening, but yeah, it was more than what the clip led on.
So in my case, I'm not running from no established woman. You got two types of women. You got a woman that wants a man because she's established. She can pay her own bills. She takes care of her own kids, things like that. She wants a man because she just wants a man to love him. You know what I'm saying? There's another woman that's like, I'm tired of paying all these bills by my goddamn self. I need to get me a man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so you're basically saying, I want that type of woman, instead of coming into a situation to where she knows what she wants, and most likely she's ready to be submissive to a man that comes in. She has everything. So it's like, you can come in as a man and not have yourself all the way together, and she's okay with that because she has herself together, and she's probably willing to put her all into you, into even helping you get established. And some women are like that. Some women aren't. There's a lot of women that might be like, now, doesn't mean that not every woman's going to beat you down for, okay, you're not being on her level.
Right.
And that's what, are we afraid of that? Like, I don't know. Like, but as far as what he was saying about,
well, hold on. I don't want to interrupt you. I think that you made a good point, because I think you just chimed in a little bit. So you say that again. I'm sorry. It was, are we afraid of women that have their stuff together?
Are we afraid of that? Like, are we afraid of women that have their shit together? Like,
that's a good question.
Okay, so I don't think it's that we're actually afraid of the women that have their shit together. It's everything that comes with it, right? Because if we don't have our shit together fully, right, the dynamic changes, the mentality changes, right? The lack of communication isn't there, because a lot of people aren't going to communicate what their issues are. Right? They're not going to communicate that I feel a certain type of way when we go out and you handling this, right? Because it goes against society's norms, right? She got bread, I ain't got bread like that, but she wants to go out to Morton's, right? Okay. I ain't got to like that, but she going to pay. It's going to look weird when she reaches for the check. It's going to feel weird of like, I don't know if anybody else is going to be looking at me, but you know what's going on.
She wants you as a man, though. It's like, this is the thing, like, she has everything. She's been paid for herself and did this and that. She wants a man. So if you come in and being a man and being masculine, and you are catering to her feminism, You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't give a fuck about that shit. Like, I come from the time where we used to be like, it's all on the bit. You know what I'm saying? This is and that. I come from that era, that time. So it's like, I'm not scared of no woman that has money. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get up underneath her. But now, as a man, I realize that I want my own as well. And when I come into a situation, I have to have my own, because if you ever do try to down talk me or downplay me, I can be like, well, I got my own. Like, I can go. I can get up out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's where it's at. But he said some other stuff. I gotta say, like, first of all, women, we have to understand who we're talking about here. We're talking about black women. Out of everything they have to endure, and they have endured, from protecting us until birthing our kids to us leaving them, and all this. First of all, they're built for survival. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Should we be telling our women, yeah, you're going to be a wife? Our black women, yeah, you're going to be a wife. Telling our young daughters, yeah, you're going to be a wife someday. That, instead of going, you got to learn this just in case so you don't need a man. Like, it's okay to need a man. That's no problem with that. You just make sure you get the right one and teach them how to find the right one. That's not the issue. So that's just, I want to make sure. And as far as black women being submissive, black women can definitely be submissive. Like it's just that they're just not going to take a lot of bullshit, because it's like they've endured a lot of bullshit through the years, and they're fed up of certain things. They're just fed up.
Well, right. So, but I think that you made a good point though. Is, can black women be submissive? Absolutely. But are they raised? Are they trained? Are they encouraged to be submissive? Or like what you said, are they encouraged to be independent in case she needs to be on her own? Like, it's more raised, like you said, I'm teaching you this so you don't need a man.
For survival.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So is that part of the issue?
So, yes. It comes down to the type of hierarchy that you were raised with.
Okay.
Most people were raised in a monarchy, right? Where the woman lead the household.
Right.
Right. So in men and women alike.
Right.
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 So you're going to be a lot of us are being raised to where mom ran shit.
Mom had to make it happen.
Right. So women are going to be like, if when you have women who lived in a house where mom was making the shit, she's going to take that on herself, that I have to handle my shit like this.
Right.
When you have men who are raised in a household where mom handled this shit, they're going to be raised, women going to got this shit.
Right. Right.
So you have to have the best suggestion I have is date somebody who were raised in the same hierarchy, so that way you guys have an understanding, and it's not trying to figure out who leads who, and then
same values.
Same values.
Yeah,
right. Because if you were raised in a household, if the guy was raised in a household to where the man ran the shit and he was ready to run the shit, right? But she was raised in a household where the mom ran the shit and dad wasn't ever there, so she had nobody. So she was raised without being able to trust a man. This man is actually doing his shit, but she still can't trust him because she wasn't really properly led by a male leader. A lot of us haven't.
Right.
Men and women alike, and that's a generational thing. We think that we're following somebody who's a leader, but then you start realizing, like, damn, you really didn't have your shit together. This wasn't really all that great. They stayed with you because they had to. They didn't really have any other options. They got stuck here. Some people do.
Yeah, just like mothers back in the day, like in the 70s and the 60s, like there wasn't a lot of information to get divorces. I didn't have the money, or they felt like, oh, if he's taking care of all the bills, how am I supposed to get out of it? So a lot of people's parents stayed together because the mother didn't have a way out.
Because she had to.
And she had to. And then the kids get grown, and then as soon as the kids was grown, she was out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
women get out the house
nowadays. The women are out of there.
Oh, even that. On top of that, too, when it comes to women living raised in the household with their mom, a lot of times the older that they get, the more tense shit got. Yeah. The more aggressive they were towards each other for whatever reason. So women were most likely to move out the house a lot sooner and become more independent on their own a lot sooner. Yeah. They weren't given the grace that a lot of men were given.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think black households in general, where kids are pushed out. Like, as soon as you're 18, you got to get out the house. Blah 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 blah. So, I think this clip was very interesting because it's just, oh man, I'm trying to find the words to put this. So, like you said, he wasn't right, but he wasn't wrong. And as a man, a woman's success never scares me or never makes me feel less than as far as my masculinity, right? I think it all boils down to where do you see value and what do you expect from a man, right? So if the expectation is that a man is the provider, and if a woman has already provided for herself, then there is no room for you. And I think what he meant to say is, this is what I took from it, and this is what I agree with. I don't agree with women that are successful or less attractive. I'm all for you being as successful as you can, because if we're working together, we're helping out each other and we all bringing it to the same pot, right? Yeah. But I will agree that with success comes some ego, pride, and attitude. And that makes it hard for us to work together if you are coming to the table. If your reason for success was so that way you can tell a man that you don't need him, I don't want you. Right. But if your success is so that way you can make sure you're good and you can bring that to the household if you were to get married, and that as a husband and wife, we can pool our resources together and work together, I'm cool. It's really the intention and the attitude. If your heart position is that I want to help my family, I don't care how much money you make. I'm not going to feel invalidated as a man because I don't put all my value as a man in providing. Providing, protecting, being the spiritual leader, being the emotional leader. There's a lot of things that men, I think we set the bar way too low as far as being a man or as far as masculinity. Just providing and showing up, women can do that. Women have been doing that. Yeah. But there's certain things that you get from a man that you cannot get from a woman. There's certain things that you get from a woman that you can't get from a man. So you have to value all of that. And for me, if a woman is scared or a woman does not trust masculinity, then I get it. I get that you have to get it on your own. I get that maybe your dad wasn't there, or that the dad that you did have, that you did not trust him. So that way it makes it hard for you to trust other men. It's actually called a father wound. Men have it, women have it. Whoever you have in your household can definitely change how you view men, period. Or your mother can change how you view women. And we talked about that, how a lot of black men have, I guess if there's a father wound, there has to be a mother wound, where if your mother was an authoritarian and she's yelling and screaming and beating you, then that may cause some issues. So I am never going to look at a woman's success and be scared by it. But your attitude and the way that you respect and honor me will definitely change how I view you and whether I want to pursue you in a relationship. If it is something like, I've checked off, I got my degree, check. I got a high paying job, check. Got my own house, check. Got my car, check. Only thing I'm missing is a man. Yeah, I'm going to go find a man. No, I don't want that. Because you're treating me as that I'm an accessory. That I'm just down your checklist. And I think we have to start teaching our men and our women to not be independent, but to be interdependent.
But meaning don't men do that too? Don't men do that to women too? Like, they say they got a house, say they got a car, say they got this and that, but as in the same realm, they fucking the baddest little bitches.
But how do they treat the women? How do they treat those women?
They treat them like, he treats them like
a trophy wife, an accessory.
If she's super bad, then he gonna treat her like a trophy wife. She probably ain't got no attributes to her at all.
If she doesn't have any,
and then I would say the same thing I'm saying for a successful woman doing that, it's the same thing I would say for a successful man doing that. Okay. Because you're not valuing the person. You're only valuing the aesthetic or how they look, or it's an object. It's more of an object than it is a person. And I feel like if you're going to be in a healthy relationship, value me for me, not, I just want a man.
There it is.
You know what I mean? And I think we do that. It's like most people want to get married just to say that they got married. Right. And the goal is not to get married. The goal is to stay married. So I think we got to start teaching, again, our men and our women to be interdependent and not independent. Interdependent means that you can depend on somebody else. instead of being independent where you only rely on yourself. And then that's where that black superwoman complex come in, where black women feel like they got to do everything. But I understand where it comes from, because a lot of times they've been let down in their lives by us, by fathers, by men, brothers, uncles, men in the community. So it's a survival tactic. And it's hard breaking down that wall. And I think that's why a lot of black men don't like dating black women, because of the exterior wall that a lot of these black women have, because they don't trust men. But you have to understand where that comes from. It's not nothing personal, and it is difficult. I've been with black women all my life, and I can tell you probably every black woman that I've dated has had that in some shape, form, or fashion, where they did not trust men because of past traumas that men have caused in their lives. And it's just hard. But I'm dedicated to loving a black woman. That's just how I am. And that's why I love that we played the full clip.
Yeah.
Because I think there was more context to what he was saying. So, black women, y'all killing it. Keep killing it. And a man that values you will not be intimidated by your success. But you can't just want a man just as an accessory, because men, our value is not only tied in just how much we provide. That's not their fault. We made that an issue because men were the providers. Men were the hunters. And it does get kind of intimidating if that's what you base your masculinity off of. Then you are going to feel a little insecure when your woman is making more than you, because now you are no longer the provider. And if the one thing that you pride yourself on, you ain't providing, then it's like, then what am I here for?
Right. And then also too, you gonna start feeling insecure and shit when there's people around who are still more successful than you and her.
Facts.
I'm gonna say this to all the successful women. I'm okay with this, and I will fuck the Sonic coins out of you.
I need a sugar mama.
That's really where I'm at with it. I don't really care if you got money. That's cool. Like, if you want to treat me like an object,
that's cool too.
I'm an object.
Let me know what my role is.
I am an object.
Your life.
Nigga saying, use me.
No, but on the real, you made some great points, like some 100% great points, and we have to treat people like people and not objects, and just know that if I am going to come into this situation, I need to come into the situation knowing it's going to be on an equal playing field, and that if I don't have as much as you, just know that we are working towards that. If you come into this situation, you come to the table with a table, that's cool. Just know that we're here to share it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you're not here to down me later on down the line, like, well, this is my table and you ain't got to eat on it.
Facts.
Facts. Like, you invited me to this table, so this is now our table.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could have told me that in the beginning and I wouldn't have came. We got to have it established what this is and how it's going to be. And as soon as you switch up, I'm switching up and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because you breaking the bond and the rules and regulations. You would not put me down for that situation, because you don't hear men putting women down for not making that much money. Like,
not the money, but men do pull that. I pay the bills. You don't do shit around here. You can go. If they make the majority of the money or pay all the bills, men do pull that card.
Okay, I can see that. I think that a lot of men,
and you know what? I think that's why a lot of women want to make money and want to go to work, so that way, because like you're saying, in the 70s, 80s, if a man said, I want to divorce you, and a woman was a housewife, she has nothing to go to.
She has nothing to go to.
I'm like, shit, that sounds like incentive to one of those.
Alimony came from. That's where the alimony thing came from.
So you're more willing to be submissive and stay, not because you want to, because you have to.
Right.
So a lot of women, a lot of our grandfathers cheated, had families on the side, and they and your grandma had to stay.
That's weird, because it's like, how was you cheating the way you was cheating with two households? How is he taking care of two households on this little income he had? Like,
because they had no choice.
It was like, that and the cost of living wasn't
back then. Cheating was crazy, because if somebody called, was like ring ring, he just pling, the bitch just hang up. Like,
don't be calling my house.
Alan May, don't be calling my house. You gonna ruin my family.
Ruin everything that I built.
Told you now.
That was
I'm gonna come over there.
That was a golden age cheating back then.
Man,
All you had to do was unplug the phone.
You had to do is unplug the phone.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So I get, man. Trust me, I sympathize with the women, man, because the bar has been set so low,
so
to the point where some women are saying, "Look, just pay the mortgage, and I'll pay all the rest of the bills, just so I feel like you paying a bigger bill." And what's funny was I talked to some chick. I was like, "So you want?" I said, it makes you feel better that the man pays the mortgage?" And she was like, "Yeah." I said, "So you supposed to pay all the rest of the other bills?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I said, "How much is your mortgage?" She said, "Well, the mortgage is like $2,000." And then I added up all the bills, and she was paying like $2,300. I said, "You're still paying the majority of the bills."
Yeah, but he paying the big bill.
But you're still paying the majority of the bills. You want a man to provide, but you still paying all the bills.
Wait. So the mortgage was
went like around 2,000, but all the other bills added up to be more than that.
It's not hard to do.
You got to think about it.
It's not hard to do.
Cell phone,
car,
cable,
insurance,
car insurance,
okay.
all of that.
Utilities.
No, you think about Netflix.
Utilities.
No. I'm talking about all the other bills.
Everything.
Oh, bro, went in there.
Facts.
Well, I'm just saying, women got to realize sometimes when they're asking for these things because it looks better, but you're still in the same ballpark of 50-50 or close to 50-50, or you paying more than the man. So I'm just putting it out there. And if you're in that situation, I'm sorry for blowing up your spot.
I just rather it be 50-50. Like, you know what I'm saying? We go half on everything. Like, I mean, that's just me. That's just how I've always.
And I got a cake for the women because this is and of us men here, we're all established here. We all bring something to the table. Right. You cannot be a man and say I am an alpha male or I'm the masculine of the masculine and then doing 50-50. And I'm just saying this, if your only thing you're bringing to the table is providing. Because if your calling card is providing, but she's still paying half the bills, you're not holding up your end of the table. If that's your calling card, because a lot of men will say, I'm an alpha male, I'm the masculine, blah, 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 I want a traditional woman. But I'm like, but nigga, you're not a traditional man then.
Well, see, and that's another thing, though. Just because a person says, I'm willing to go 50-50 doesn't mean that this month, I might have to take care of more of. She might have some other shit she has to take care of.
That's true.
So I might have to take more of this, and I'm okay with taking more of this. I'm okay with I'm in here cooking with you. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying.
Doing this.
You have to provide more than just that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to give the whole man experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're not giving the man experience on a 50-50, then, oh, nigga, you whack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a full experience of being a man that you have to bring to the table. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Baby, sit back. I heard a noise.
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying?
A protector, a provider, again, like listening, being emotionally available. Like, because there's some men that do pay all the bills. They work all the time and are never home.
Right.
And it's like, dude, that's not masculine. That may be a provider.
I want to be home.
But you got to be home because your kids need you. So that's all I'm saying. I think we just got to raise the bar as far as what fatherhood looks like. I know that you're an amazing father. I always see you with your kids. Always. You know what I mean?
Get her after this.
That's what I'm saying. So it's more than just putting money on the table. Because if that was the case
last night, well, I ain't gonna talk about that on the air.
A little tipsy. Yeah. So just a little bit, just a little drink.
Oh no, it wasn't because of the drinking. It was just because of some BS.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. All right, man. I think that was a good conversation. I think we handled that well. We didn't come across as the fresh and fit guys, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
Give us a round of applause. I think that was a very mature conversation.
They could have went way worse.
Oh yeah,
could have. We got a good.
I think you set the tone in the beginning, and that kind of set the tone for everything. Because if we would have started off with the other topics first,
Steph will be proud of us. Steph, don't be killing us on this. All right, so we're going to get into the internet wins again, where we talk about the hottest internet topics that have been trending on Twitter and etc. social media. Oh, man, see, that always happens to me, man. I got to get one of these new cables or something, man. Let's try this again. Here we go. Internet wins again. We're going to talk about Chris Breezy. Chris Breezy was allegedly No, he was accused. He was accused. I can't say allegedly because he was. He was accused of rape and sexual assault by a young lady in Florida, Miami, I believe. I think she lives in Hollywood now. He was accused of rape. He produced some text messages and he produced a voice message that contradicted the woman's claim. I guess the woman said that she was drugged and that he raped her on I think it was a yacht party with P. Diddy, right?
Yeah.
It was a party with Diddy. He pulled her to the side, drugged her, and he raped her. Chris Brown, via social media, he produced text messages between this young lady and him. And in the text messages, I'm not going to read them all, basically conveyed that they did have consensual sex and that she wanted more. I'll just say that.
Begging. She was begging.
Yeah, she was begging for more. The lawyer that was representing the young lady dropped her as a client after the text messages were produced because he said that he was not aware of this information when they took him to court or sued him or all these other things. So there is a voice message that I would like to play. Whoops, my bad. A voice message that I would like to play just to kind of everybody to kind of get the gist of this. And let me see. Twitter. Here it is. Nope. Downloads. Camera. Here it is. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play this. And I don't know if this is his lawyer or representation or one of Chris Brown's friends, but basically he's playing the voice message for Chris Brown. And it was on Twitter. It was on Instagram.
What time is it? Put the time and date.
This is the Jane Doe. That's
You're giving me mixed signals. You're like reading my messages and stuff, and you haven't blocked me yet, so I'm guessing you don't hate me. I just want to see you again. I mean, just answer the phone and then you just hung up. Like, just let me know. Like, if you want me to leave you alone, I definitely will. But I really just want to fuck with you again.
All right. It's all been confirmed that the text messages between Chris Brown and the Jane Doe have been confirmed that it is her. It has been confirmed that the voice message is her as well. And Chris Brown and his legal team are going to pursue legal action against her for defamation of character. I believe defamation of character. It's all alleged. This is a podcast, so but he is pursuing legal action against her. We'll get to the second part of this, but first I want to get your guys' reactions on this particular situation. There's a lot of people that are advocating for her to do some type of jail time because of
100%, especially being so Juicy Smollett is going to take some
150 days.
150 days for faking a hate crime with no victim.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody was involved. Like he didn't put no names out. He didn't try to criminalize anybody and lie on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He made up a story, and the only person who was involved in the story that exists is him.
Yeah,
so he's getting 150 days, and she needs something. That needs to be something that should be implemented from now on. If he gets that for a fake hate crime that doesn't drag anybody's name in the mud, somebody from now on that should be the norm.
And for journalistic integrity, it doesn't necessarily mean that he did not rape her, but the way that the evidence is stacking up, it obviously looks like that she made it up. Fact. Because she was in the text messages. If you read the text messages, at some point Chris Brown basically ghosted her. And you can tell that she, I'm assuming, was upset that he stopped talking to her, ghosted her, however you want to put it. So we're not saying that he didn't do it. We're just saying from what information we have, it looks like that is very abnormal for somebody who has been raped or have been assaulted to ask for more or to still text them, call them. Right. So so that's what we're saying. So obviously rape is a very sensitive subject. And we're just having the conversation because obviously it does happen a lot. And for black men, it is very triggering because a lot of times, I don't know if I've ever heard of a white man being falsely accused of, as far as in like the headlines or whatever like that. But for the most part, it's usually black men. Yeah. Athletes or entertainers. Not to say that doesn't happen to other men, but for us, obviously, it's more prevalent to us because Chris Brown is from the culture. So
right. I don't dabble too much in the white culture of knowing what's going on.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not a big person on jail. Like wanting to send people to jail. Like unless you really, really belong there. But in this situation, like I don't know. Like she ain't gonna be able to pay no fines like that. Like no big fees. Like you can't sue her for the type of money that she was trying to sue you for. So it's just like, what can you really do to her to make her be like, damn, I should have never did this? I mean, yeah, you can go to jail, but it's like, who's to say that she ain't never been in jail before? Who's to say that she can't go in there and go do the time and be like, well, shit, I tried. Hey, I tried. Like,
so if she's found out that she did lie purposefully to try to hurt him and hurt his career and try to get back at him because he ghosted her, you're saying you're not advocating for jail time?
I'm just not a big person to go to jail, but I mean, I don't wish jail on nobody.
No, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But
let's say
something gotta happen. Like she gotta some gotta.
Yeah, I was gonna say
there's gotta be some kind of consequences.
I think the biggest thing is that like let me move past her and let's get to Chris Brown. I'm tired of them doing Chris Brown like this, or I'm ain't gonna say Chris Brown. I'm tired of doing us like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because if he didn't have those receipts, he would have been railroaded.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
If he would not have had those text messages, then what would the narrative would have been? The narrative would have been because of how the past has gone. Now we tend to believe the accuser, right?
Right. No, definitely. And I'm glad he had those. Like it saved his fuck. It
saved the bag or two.
Like it saved his life. But he has to be smarter. He has to be smarter. Since that Rihanna situation, it's like they still blame him. Like they treat Chris Brown like kind of like an OJ situation where it's like even though he got acquitted, like whether he did it or not, he got acquitted. They still treat him like he did it. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Well, I to be fair, I think we know that he did do it.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't that he didn't do, but I understand what you're saying.
But let's just say though, like they're gonna always treat him because of the whole Rihanna situation. Anything that comes up with a woman, it's like, oh yeah, you did it. Oh yeah, you did it. And that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he do be fucking up though.
I was gonna say
putting his hands on females.
He put himself in that situation because we saw what he was capable of. And now that we see what you're capable of, then we are going to tend to think that if you've done it once, that you're capable of doing more. But again, he has to take responsibility for that because he's the one that did it. But in this situation, you're right. The text messages saved him. The issue I have with this is that it is so difficult for women who have been through that situation to be believed that for you to make a game or a mockery of this situation, that you're now going to make it even more harder for women who actually were raped or assaulted to be believed. And again, like you said, if he did not have those text messages, you would have ruined his life, his career, a bag. And let's just take Chris Brown out of it. Let's just say just any athlete, black man of any kind of stature. If you would have done that to anybody like that, we would have sided with the woman. And then sponsors would have cut him off. Concerts would have cut him off. People would have been talking about ban Chris Brown or ban whoever it is. No music. We're not supporting you, etc. And because we've been just wired to be more sensitive towards the accuser, which isn't wrong.
We don't have a voice, like I said before.
Which isn't wrong. But there needs to be some type of middle ground where we wait until we get all the facts before we make any of these decisions. But a lot of these sponsors want to get ahead of it because they don't want to be tied to somebody that may have potentially raped somebody. So it's a difficult situation, but I do think that she needs to deserve something. And if it's jail time, then she needs to go to jail time. The way I look at it, because it's hard to prove it. If you are proven that you are lying, you should get the severity of whatever lie or the same severity of the crime that you're accusing somebody of is. You should be actually, you know what? No, because then that will discourage people from coming forward because it's not, see, that's tough because sometimes it's not even what is true or not, it's what you can prove. So the court system, sometimes you don't get the right verdict. It's just what you can prove or not, right? And I don't know. That's tough, man. I don't know. But I'm glad that Chris Brown is taking legal action, because these women that are lying, that are doing this, they need to have some type of precedent that I can't keep doing this, or else I'm gonna get either I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket or I'm gonna have to do something. Because again, the ramifications for what could have happened for Chris would have been all bad. So I don't know. It's tough, man, because there's a lot of women that get raped or assaulted and they go to court or they speak out and nobody listens to them. So I don't know.
I think it's messed up because not all these women are victims. And then there's a lot of these women that are victims. So you have to sit here and try to pick and figure out, okay, who's a real victim and who's not a real victim. And it's like, it's messed up for the women who are victims, who are being done unjust. Right. You know what I'm saying? But then there's the women like this who say she would have won that case. She'd have been like, ha, I came up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like, I don't know. It's
well, and to me, what's the angle? Are you just trying to do a civil case so that way he settles and you get money? Like, what is her angle? Or are you scorned because he stopped texting you and then you feel like this is the way to get back at him? I just, again, there has been, and I don't know the race of this young woman, but there's just been a precedent of white women doing that to black men. She may be black. I don't know. I don't even think that the race.
I mean, she sounds black.
I don't think that the race matters in this case. But I mean, all the way back to Emmett Till, we've been getting lied on a long time. Not to say that men don't do it, but I'm just saying that this, like, again, it seems like it affects us more. And I think it affects us more because we already have a criminal element that people already think that black men are more susceptible to committing crimes. So it becomes more believable when somebody accuses a black man of rape than a white man of rape. You know what I mean? Like the Harvey Weinstein shit played out totally different compared to like Bill Cosby or R. Kelly situation. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
When do we start talking about us being attacked by women? Like when do we start talking about like different people sending women after us as black men? When
about a few years.
Like, because let's just be honest, like who's to say that woman wasn't sent to do all this and to create this? Like prime example, the Deshaun Watson. Like who's to say that the Texans didn't send those women to do all that and make it seem like this and because they wanted it to have some kind of leverage over him or like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some, I mean, so I don't know, like,
well,
but I mean, like I said, we love the women and we are advocates for. Like this is just a messed up situation.
It's a messed up situation. It's a mess. But see,
want to comment on it.
But I think that's why what I said earlier, and I'm gonna stand on what I said earlier, that you have to control what you can control. So Chris Brown already put himself in a somewhat fucked up situation because in the text messages he was like, you need to take a plan B. So I don't know if he had unprotected sex with this woman. I don't know what was going on, but as a celebrity, when you have so much to lose, you have to watch who you're around and who you give your time to.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that he would have known that she would have done this, but I'm just saying if you that loose, then things like this are going to bound to happen because people look at you as a come up. The Deshaun Watson situation, same thing. You cannot be alone in a room with women that you are messaging on Instagram and they're having them giving you a massage. That is just unwise. You are worth, I don't know how much money he worth, but it's 40, 50, 60, $80 million. Hire a professional masseuse. Hire somebody that is trained to give you massages. There is no benefit to you messaging women on Instagram to meet up with them in Houston to give you a massage. You have too much to lose. So yes, it's a fucked up situation, but at the same time, you have to stop putting yourself in that situation to end up being taken advantage of. Right. So you have to be able to control. Plus, you got to have people around you that's smarter than that. Like, you can't do that. Speaking of Deshaun Watson will not face any criminal charges from the issue of what I just spoke about. So a lot of people are saying the same exact thing. Like they feel vindicated. He feels vindicated. And again, are basically making it seem like that the women are lying. I want to make one very important distinction. Just because somebody is not charged criminally does not mean that they are innocent. because all that means is that the prosecutor or whoever felt like they did not have enough evidence to charge him with. Doesn't mean that he's innocent. So they will actually still probably pursue a civil suit towards him. But it's very eerie that both of these situations kind of came to a conclusion both at the same time. So I know we kind of touched on it, but I just want to ask, as black men, how do we feel about this when these stories come up, or when, obviously with Chris Brown produced the text message, but more or less when Deshaun Watson is seen as if that he's not going to face any criminal charges? Do we feel like there's an agenda against black men? Do we feel like that or is it, like I was saying earlier, do we just put ourselves in situations where it's easy for us to be taken advantage of?
We know we're being attacked. We know, but we still don't take the precautions. And that's the stupid part upon us. Like, you're in the house, like, why is no cameras? Why would no cameras where they can see what's going on? Put her in a place where there's cameras, and this woman can't say, oh, yeah, he raped me, or yeah, he did this, or he touched me inappropriately, and all this. Like,
no, well, see, in situations like that, that's when you start realizing that it's better to, that's why a lot of people are around.
Right.
A lot of times, you gotta have a lot. If you have a lot of people around, you got witnesses, right? You have other people's, their version of the story that's from outside looking in, like, oh, this is how it was going on. This is what it was. They were cameras. You know what I mean? But sometimes it just don't work that way. But yes, it's a both. Yes, we are an attack, and yes, we need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves from that attack. We have to get our defenses up instead of trying to. You got to put the boundaries and the barriers and the fences up now instead of trying to put the boundaries, defend yourself after the attack.
Facts. I got you. Yeah.
I feel like that's the easiest way to attack us is with women. And they're like, they're sending these women at us, and we're biting, and we're so used to just being able to fuck with women, and this and that. And then it's like, okay, you send this woman at us, and now she's like, oh, he was touching me, he was raping me, or whatever it is. And it's just, we're being attacked, man. And like, and it was to the point where, did y'all see when they went at Morgan Freeman? Mm-hmm. They were talking about something with Denzel at one point in time, and then his wife came out and was like, nope. Mm-hmm. Like, so, I mean, are y'all gonna attack all of us?
It's definitely attack on black people, because you see black men, because
rich black men.
Because I mean, shit, there's
us poor niggas. They ain't messing with
shit about us. But not like shit, like even like, look, Brett Favre. Wasn't it Favre that had some issues with sending dick pics to somebody? It was somebody.
I think you're right.
It was some. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if it's Favre, Manning, one of them.
It was like an analyst or like a reporter or something.
It was
swept under the rug.
Right, swept under the rug. But it's not. It wasn't their first time having that type of situation.
Yeah, I got you.
But they weren't being, they weren't being attacked that way.
Yeah.
So
I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we can say that there's a conspiracy theory. And I just think when you have money, you're going to attract people that are going to want your money. And I think the easiest way to get it is putting yourself in a compromising spot, drinking alcohol, weed, Percocets, whatever you get that clouds your judgment. And a lot of times you don't know what happened. I mean, look at what happened to Tupac. Same situation.
You need a moral security around you.
That shit was crazy.
So we just, and when I say we, I can't say we. I'm not in that situation. I don't have that kind of money. But when you do come into that kind of money, you need to be very protective of who you keep around and who you invest your time with. So it's a bad situation. If the victims or the accusers, let me say the accusers, because it has to be proven. If it really did happen in the Deshaun Watson situation, I pray that they get their healing, and I pray that they get their justice. If It did not, then I pray that he's able to clear his name and he's able to get back to playing football. Yeah. Chris Brown, it looks pretty damn clear that didn't happen. So I hope that this is a message to the people that are lying, that they cannot do that anymore, and that when you do lie, that you will get sued in court. But I hope that this does not discourage those who have done or gone through traumatic experiences like rape, assault, domestic violence, all that they are not discouraged from coming forward, and I feel like that they're not going to be believed in those situations, because we have to realize that there is a power dynamic when it comes to that situation. When you are dealing with an entertainer, rapper, actors, athlete, that they have a lot of money, they have more powerful lawyers. So some women feel like if I do say something, I'm just going to be attacked, and I don't have the resources to even bring this to court. So a lot of times you don't even hear about it, and the person will either settle outside of court, and then they just go about their day. So it's messed up it's messed up all the way around. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I just hope that I'll say this. I hope justice is served. There you go.
It's so much of a sensitive topic that you kind of got to give your thoughts and move on, because it's like, there's a lot of victims out there that really just
that weren't heard, that didn't get justice,
right?
And it's messed up. And I did some exercise somebody told me to do. They said ask all of the women that are close to you, have they ever been compromised sexually? And it was pretty shocking. It was pretty shocking how many women that I knew were compromised and never knew. And
you would have never known.
It was like 80, like I don't want to put a number on it, but like if it was out of 10, it was like 8 or 9 out of the 10. Damn. And so I just want to make sure that we're being sensitive with this topic, because a lot of the people that listen to us are women. And a lot of times when this conversation comes up when it's all men in the room, we're not sensitive to it. I am sensitive to it. Photo B sensitive to it. Tevis is sensitive to it. We all love black women. We all love women. I got a daughter. He got a daughter. The conversation around protecting y'all needs to be brought up more. And that's why, again, I said that earlier, that us black men have to have that conversation for ourselves. Like, we can't include black women or women in those conversations all the time. We do need to include y'all to get what you guys need. But as far as our responsibilities, our roles, what we should be doing, and just uplifting each other, that we need to do a better job of that. Speaking of which, there's a gentleman that we do follow, that hopefully will be on the podcast soon. That his whole platform or his whole organization is geared towards black men coming to, he gives a lot to nonprofits, but a lot of that is also he organizes events for black men to come together. We actually had a Black Solidarity Walk downtown. It's at B_916. So go check him out. A dope brother, dope individual. And we just need more of that. We just need more black men coming together, having conversations, talking, connecting, and just uplifting each other. I mean, because we don't have many opportunities to end up doing that, because we're always trying to get stuff done. So, but I think that we're good now. Unless somebody else had anything else to add on that topic. I know there really wasn't much to add without, saying something that we probably didn't want to say. But again, just hope that everybody gets justice. And again, I hope that the people that have gone through traumatic experiences as of such are not discouraged from coming out and, speaking their truth. So, yeah.
Cool.
I think that pretty much sums it up. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to get canceled after this episode.
No, we should be fine.
No, I think we should be good. So we want to thank, man, Tmadness, Tevis, for coming on here, man. He had hit me up previous episode, asked him when to hit him on, so I kept it in the tuck. I was like, man, I want to make sure that we get a time where we can have like a men's episode to get him on. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that we might have to have you on again, sir. You know what I'm saying?
I'm willing, man. Like I said, I'm willing to come back whenever.
Okay, man. Friend of the show. We got friends of the show that come on every frequently, man. So we appreciate you. So we're going to give you a round of applause, man. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Shout out to the Smashmouth Ent.
My brothers, man.
Matter of fact, you guys got anything upcoming? Any projects or anything you guys are working on?
I'm putting together something right now. To be honest, I got so much music in the tuck. Like I got a whole DJ Fresh project in the tuck. Like I got a project me and Doobie from Thiz we've been doing. But we just kind of put that on hold. But I just got a bunch of songs from there. Me and Dev 20 got a finished project. I still ain't put out. He be on me like, put that out. I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna stop doing music. Like I was like, I'm through. But like I'm kind of getting back into it, starting to get fun to me again. So I'm putting together new music.
Okay.
And but we gonna see. I think me and S Falcone, my Snap, my name is Snap. We were doing something, so that might be something coming. Other than
fuck your life, bing bang.
Got something coming out. Dre Shady, he got something coming out. The homie Milo, he just dropped something. Like we just, you know what I'm saying. The homie AC, he's down right now, but like he's still putting out music. He got something coming out. So like there's a lot of people just getting ready to drop. We're just slowly just doing stuff. So
yeah, I think with the first summer of it looking like we may not have COVID, I think a lot of people are probably gonna be trying to ramp up and do more shows.
It's about to be one hell of a summer.
For sure.
Sundress season is among us.
Man.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord. Bring the heat.
Bring the heat.
That's definitely what we need. We need some ass. I mean, like, but not the stink ass. Like, because I like slim, thick chicks. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've been in the gym lately. It's a whole new world in that. It's a whole new world. But like, but don't get twisted. Like a fat ass.
Fat ass is cool, but an impressive ass is different.
All right, so we appreciate y'all for listening. We trying to not get canceled here. For y'all, please comment. Tell us if y'all love the content. Comment. Tell us if y'all agree or disagree with our points or what we said. We said a lot today. And just help us out with the algorithm. We don't ask for no money. We don't ask for nothing. We just ask y'all to please just support and just help us out. You know what I mean? So we appreciate y'all. Shout out to Steph. Steph will be back next episode. You guys might get an all-women's pod. Who knows? And shout out to Raj, man. Shout out to Raj. Raj still handling his business. So as you see, it's just us the three rocking right now. And we appreciate and we love y'all. Peace.
Let's go. Let's go. If you just let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you